fill the stands with wide-open racing from Bark River, Michigan. Known to send trucks flying far, sometimes too far, the 1.5-mile track in Michigan's Upper Peninsula will be the scene for speeds of over 100 miles per hour, a place where roost is either your ally or your enemy. The scream of the engines will show just how hard the drivers push the limits of their trucks and their emotions. The throwdown in the UP starts now. Welcome to the nation's premier off-road racing series, TORC, the Off-Road Championship presented by Amzor.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We're here at beautiful Bark River, Michigan. We're at the Bark River International Off-Road Raceway as part of the UP Throwdown here this weekend of day 2 of racing. I got Robbie Floyd next to me. I'm Scott Rain, and we've had a fantastic weekend of racing. Pros coming up in just a moment, but right now we've got a few laps remaining in the Super Buggy division. In fact, the white flag is out. We've seen a lot of action in this race, Robbie.
Yes, the white flag's out, and up top, Scott Schwalbe in the second half of the race has been the guy to beat because he really pulled out a distance on second, third. But once Larry Pegram has moved into second, the number 5 is starting to turn it up, and he's starting to close down on Schwalbe. And the question is, will he have enough time? Because they haven't received the white. They're about to get it the next time around. So only about a lap and a half left. But Pegram is closing in, no question.
And the thing is, what I've noticed, the first half of this race, we called him Squirrel yet. Okay, I called him.
You called it.
I called him Squirrel yesterday because he was very fast, but then all of a sudden he's getting a little squirrely and loses his position. Same thing in the first half of this race. Competition yellow came out. He was all over the place. Now, in the second half, he's got the car nice and straight. He's like calmed down. He's almost like he's slowed down to be faster.
Dude, he just doubled the section. We were watching the 29 of Scott Schwalbe, but watch behind and get a wide shot. See how much distance there is. The white flag is now out. Larry Pegram made the first double that they'll face, all the racers will face today. He just made that double. He's the only one that's doing that at lap after lap. That means he's going to make up, what, at least a half a second in that one spot alone.
Yeah, he made up 2 seconds on that last lap on our leader, Scott Schwalbe. What's really interesting yesterday, this is the same finishing order they were in yesterday for yesterday's race between Schwalbe, Pegram, and his son, Ryan Schwalbe, his first race ever in his class. They're running that same order right now. So
but Pegram was all over the place yesterday, as he is right there by himself. He pushed it hard. Now he's going to have a hard time. Ryan's going to be closing in third. Let's see if the other Schwalbe starts popping in, and he's not able to do it. But as you said, and you give him that nickname Squirrel, that happened all at his lonesome. And it only happened because he was pushing to close in on Scott Schwalbe.
And a big gap now back to second. So, you know what? It's all seat time, and he's got good equipment. He's got the racer mentality. He knows what he's doing on the racetrack, but not so much in his car. I think he's still getting
Do you know what it is?
used to.
Do you know what it is? He's a motorcycle racer and has been doing it for years, from dirt track, flat track, dirt track, to road racing. It's different. You have a roll cage around you here. He can push it beyond those limits and know that that roll cage is there to save him. So he's probably going to push it more than everyone else will because he's always had to run that ragged edge. When you have safety around you, you don't have to run that edge. You can chance getting hurt because it's not going to happen.
And here comes Schwalbe around the corner, takes the checkered flag. So 2 wins in a row for Scott Schwalbe, number 29. Pegram coming around. Very good run for him. I don't know if I'll be able to call him Squirrel, but I'll have fun with him just the same.
Do it till he tells you to stop.
He finishes second. Oh, we had to pass the last half lap. In the upper right-hand section of this course, Rodney Van Epperen has gotten around Ryan Schwalbe, so Van Epperen will be on the podium for the first time this weekend.
Husqvarna colors showing up in third. So unfortunately there for Ryan Schwalbe, had it almost the entire race and drops back, but Dad able to take the victory, so we will not see the Schwalbe double up like we saw yesterday. As the guys are making their way up to the podium, as well as Scott Rain, and we'll step away for just a moment here at Bark River for stop number 6 of TORC, the Off-Road Championship. You'll see the pros here shortly.
Ready. Drive.
And 90 degrees up on 2 wheels.
Fly. Dominate. Celebrate. MagnaFlow.
What is Monster? killing tires on the ultimate Gymkhana course. I'm Ken Block, and I am Monster.
second race in a car. Is that the J.R. Wheeler car from a couple years ago? Beautiful looking vehicle, Husqvarna on the side. Second day behind the wheel, and you're on the podium, man.
Yeah, it feels good. It was a long winter. We took that thing apart completely. We bought it from I think it's a Fodril-built chassis, and we went through it all winter. We're still working the bucks out of it. We had a fuel pressure issue there. We were losing fuel pressure before the halfway point, but it feels good to at least get up on the podium here.
Is it because you got a cart out there later on this afternoon that you can't let your kids have all the fun? You got to buy one yourself?
I was coming to the races for my little guy to race the short course karts, and I figured I might as well have something to have a little bit of fun with, too.
Nice job, man. It's good to see you back into the sport. Nice on the podium.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Scott. I want to thank a couple people. Our company, Power Sports One, we're a Yamaha dealer and a Husqvarna motorcycle dealer. Got to say a happy Father's Day to my dad. Thanks to my mom, dad, my wife, and Johnny Greaves for all the help he's been doing for us. So thanks a lot, everybody.
Congratulations. We'll get to see you in Crandon, man.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, we'll jump over here. Let's see, 1/3 of the bootlegger, wildman, and squirrel team. And I'm going to tell you right now, Larry, well, first off, welcome to the series. I hope you don't go anywhere. I hope you stick around. You are really fun to watch.
Well, you know, I'm not here to win. I'm here to entertain. You know what I mean? My job's entertaining the crowd. I consider myself an entertainer. No, you know, that popcorn set and real tree car was really good today, and I just screwed it up again right off the start, and I tapped the wall out there and bent the tie rod or something. The car was darting right on me after that over every jump, so I was really fighting then. And right there at the end, started catching Scott. Thought maybe I could give him a run on the last lap, and that was the problem when that tie rod bent. When I would jump it really hard, it would dart right, and it darted right on me, and that was kind of it. But he did a great job this weekend. He deserves it. He did everything right and didn't make any mistakes, and I couldn't make a lap without making one.
Well, you know what? The second half of your race was so much different than the first half, and it's almost like you had to slow down to be quicker out there. In fact, with 2 laps remaining, you had a 2-second faster lap time than Scott, and in the last lap, we were up to the point we were watching you all the way around, and you were running about a 1.5 quicker than Scott. So it would make for a very interesting finish outside of the squirrel moments.
Well, you know, if I would have got close to him, man, then we would have probably bumped, and then people would have been mad. But yeah, I would have done it just strictly to entertain the crowd. I wouldn't have been trying to win.
Well, once again, I hope you can stick around, man. You definitely are an addition to the sport. We love having you here in the TORC series, and hope to see you at Crandon, man.
All right, thanks. Thanks for everybody for coming out. Hopefully we gave them a little bit of show with those buggies.
Definitely. Once again, Larry Pegram, first time out here in the TORC series, and I'm going to swim over here to the guy who's been here for a long time. And, you know, Scott, it's so neat to see you back in that car. And like you said yesterday, it's like an old shoe that fits so comfortable. And back in that car again and up front where you've been for so long and so many times up here in the podium.
Well, that car has made a lot of laps on this track, so maybe it could just go by itself and not even need me in there. I don't know, but yeah, I'd like to thank Bark River for having us here for so many years. And you know, they say 39 years. I don't know how many I've been here, but probably 36, 37, I'm thinking. But I'd like to thank everybody here at Bark River the most for having us all out here. It's just great.
Well, congratulations, man, and happy Father's Day. It was neat to see you and Ryan out there together. For a moment there, it looked like he was going to be on the podium once again, but him and Rodney were having a heck of a battle, and Rodney made it up front. So, you know what? Happy Father's Day. It's great to see you two on the track.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's hear for our top 3 finishers in the Super Buggy Division, Rodney Van Eperen, the Squirrel, Larry Pegram, and Scott Schwabe. Well, this will be the first time this weekend Dan Daniels down here by the podium. He's got some can koozies for some of the fans that are trying to keep their drinks cool. Come on down here, we'll be tossing them out. So looks like Ignite Racing Fuels can koozies. Dan, you always have something up your sleeve, man.
Well, that's part of what we're doing with this display trailer is displaying for these companies. Ignite Fuels, one of the companies that came on board, and they're generous enough to give us a box of these can koozies to hand out to all the fans.
Well, come on down here, see Dan Van Eperen down here by the podium, and he'll take care of you with some can koozies, courtesy of Ignite Fuels. Looks like you guys swapped a little bit from yesterday's race. Actually, you know what? I'll stay down here. Dave Lohman, once again, I mentioned it yesterday. I'll do the same thing again today. You know, obviously the car count's not there, but the thing is, you guys are setting a trend. You're kind of introducing this class to the fans and to kind of letting the people know what these UTVs are all about. If they have one sitting at home side by side, how they can modify it and come out here onto the track.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the goal of this weekend, to come out here, introduce it. Hopefully it looks like fun, because it's a blast. And there's a lot of people that are so close to being ready to do it. People just driving through the pits with some machines. That's just a couple of things here and there, and you're out there racing. But just real quick, I just want to say happy Father's Day to my dad. He works his butt off getting this whole thing ready. And it's a great day to be out here racing. It's a lot of fun. So thanks to TORC, thanks to Bark River, Tire Balls, NC Power Sports, Can-Am, everybody. It's just a lot of fun.
Well, I also got to congratulate you, man, for being, like I say, you're setting the trend and kind of getting this whole thing going. So you keep that in the back of your head. It may be a little bit discouraging as far as car count now, but trust me, if you keep that at it, there'll be more and more and more on that racetrack. So nice job on your part.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, let's swing over here to Andrew Carlson. Obviously, you weren't in second place for very long, if you were at all, because there's not a spot of dirt on that fire suit. And maybe you wear that. Maybe you should wear that when we're out there racing snowcross. But nice job today. And again, you're going to be one of those guys that has kind of started this whole series. It kind of started this class. So keep that in the back of your mind as well. And hopefully we'll see you guys at Crandon in a couple weeks.
Yeah, you know, I just got to thank everyone, Jason, for setting this whole thing up. It's going to be great. I mean, we need more trucks in the entire series. I mean, Pro 2s, Pro Lights, everyone. So, I mean, this is a great stepping stone to get in or just get seen in a car on the track. So it's a blast, and you just add a safety belt and a few other things, and you're good. So I just got to thank Polaris and everyone at Amsoil Fox for helping me in the UTV in the summer. So, yeah, it's just fun, and I just got to thank Happy Father's Day for my dad. He's not here right now, but he's watching at home, so yeah.
Nice job, man. Once again, good luck the rest of the season. We'll hope to see you out at Crandon and maybe some other races, but again, you're one of the guys behind the scenes that keep this thing going and keep stoking the fires, and you never know, we might have 6, 8 more UTVs at the next race.
Yeah, thanks, Scott.
All right, Andrew Carlson and Dave Lohman, congratulations, both those guys. First ever UTV race here in the TORC Series.
Tell everybody that the Radar Tires has selected their weekend tire giveaway winner. Again, Radar Tires has selected their weekend tire giveaway winner, Janine Thiel, or Thiel, either way. Janine Thiel, you have been selected to receive a set of Radar Tires. Janine, please visit the Radar Tires tent to claim your prize. Radar Tires will be giving away a set of tires to one lucky fan at each race weekend of the TORC Series. Go get entered to win. Simply head over to visit their booth. Get social with Radar Tires on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or at radartires.com. So it's that simple. All you have to do is register, and Janine Thiel, you won a set of Radar Tires. We'll be back with Pro Lights here in just a bit.
Ready. Drive.
And 90 degrees up on 2 wheels.
Fly. Dominate. Celebrate. MagnaFlow.
What is Monster? It's killing tires on the ultimate gymkhana course. I'm Ken Block, and I am Monster.
Once again, welcome back, everybody. We're at Bark River, Michigan for the Throwdown of the UP, day 2 of the weekend of racing. And we're coming up next with the first of 3 pro races. And Robbie, this is what we've been talking about and thinking about all weekend long. We have got 23 pro lights coming out here in just a moment. Without a doubt, the largest class of the weekend. And a lot of young guns out here. And it's really interesting because you got some guys that are established veterans in this class, in this sport, and then also some of the guys that are 16, 17, 18 years old that are running up front.
And it's the younger guys that have been really strong this year. I think they're definitely the ones to watch out for. Jarrett Brooks, been our series points leader for quite a while now, and he kind of lost a little bit of that ground yesterday. I'd like to welcome everybody watching around the world on the MotorTrend channel on YouTube. The fans came out in attendance to watch a good race, and we saw one yesterday in the Pro Lights class.
Yeah, and the action was back and forth. And we were watching, I'm going to call out Keegan Kincaid.
Yeah,
an unbelievable run by him. Not only that, he was battling for the lead, running from the third spot up the front and dicing around, but on that last lap, right at the white flag, blew the wheel completely off the
tire took off, right rear.
Right off, blew the beadlock off and ran the entire last lap on a right rear rim and still finished 5th.
Top 5. That was unbelievable. Doug Matag was the fastest, but Keegan Kincaid had a chance to win that race if he would have kept all 4 wheels on the track. Unfortunately, one of his wheels stayed on the track, but it just wasn't part of his vehicle at the time. But that's the thing. This is our largest class as far as numbers. It has not disappointed. And again, just when you think the first half is going to be good, we have to re-rack them, restack them for the competition yellow, and then it gets even better for the back half of the race if you're just joining us for the first time here at TORC.
Well, for some of the fans that are joining us for the first time in this sport, that competition yellow comes out right around the halfway point of the race. And when it was instituted about 7-8 years ago, something that's never been done before, it wasn't a big fan favorite, wasn't a big racer favorite thing. I mean, it was a bad idea. No one liked it. We tried it, and it became successful. Everybody has fallen in love with it except the leader. You know,
yeah. I want to see checkered. I don't want to see yellow red.
So but what's cool about it, it's added a strategy in the race teams. At one point, I actually witnessed a car almost go a lap down right at the competition yellow. As the leader was crossing the line, the last place car was just already past the line, so he could go all the way back around and still stay in the lead lap. That saved his truck. He didn't beat it up. He saved the tires. Long story short, he came back to win the race in the second half. It was Johnny Greaves.
Yeah, and there's definitely strategy being played, and we saw that. We saw that for those of you who've been watching in the sportsman class just a moment ago. It looked like Schwalbe might have been, taking it easy. The second it came time for that second half, he leaned on it. He leaned on that back half because that's the race that really counts. Not to the comp yellow, but after the comp yellow.
Oh, and the other thing to keep in mind, too, this is the first long track we've raced on in 2014. We've been running in the bull ring, so to speak, or the Bristol kind of NASCAR racetracks, real tight, real confined, real technical. This is the first race of the year that we've run on the super speedway. And in fact, I think Taylor Sanders got some information about the racetrack right now. Taylor, where are you?
Well, guys, we did have some rain earlier last night. Of course, the weather is still an issue today. It's about a 50% chance whether or not it will show back up. But I spoke to some of the Pro Light drivers just a second ago, and of course, it's all about tires up here, what the track condition is going to look like, whether it starts to rain or stays with this dry silt. They were all prepared to groove their tires more if need be, but so far they're sticking with what they have. Instead, what they did have to talk about is the ruts in the track. They didn't break up the track, so there's still some problems, and of course there were some issues in qualifying with a little bit of flipping and hitting some holes in the track. So hopefully they'll be able to stay out of those holes, keep those clean lines, and hopefully the weather stays nice and dry for us here.
Thanks, Taylor. The track workers are definitely taking care of the track. They're out there doing that right now, trying to take care of those holes, those ruts, put water into it. But this is off-road racing. It's not an asphalt track. There you expect holes. You expect ruts. You expect the track conditions to change, get drier as it progresses. So that's something that they'll have to adjust. If they don't make the adjustments accordingly, so be it. Live with it. But this is off-road racing, and you see a lot of variances in the track.
Well, there's two things here. You got your guys that they want to start the race with a perfect track. It'll rut up. We'll race what's given us, that kind of thing. But the other thing to keep in mind is if you guys, they're almost overdoing prep on the track between races. They're kind of overdoing
it. It's like Supercross. It's so pretty.
But the thing is, if they don't do that, then we lose the track completely.
Right.
Once you lose it, you can't get it back, so to speak. But then on the other hand, you got to think about it this way. They don't groom the Baja 1000.
Right.
Off-road is off-road. So you kind of got those two ways of thinking. And right now, I think Bark River and the gang out here on the track are doing it the right way. They're staying ahead of it, the track, to try to stay on top of it. They don't want to lose it.
But you have the purists, I'm sure, out there. And again, this is my first year into off-road truck racing. But you have the purists out there that probably enjoy seeing the holes, the ruts, let the suspension do the work. The guys with the good suspension want to see the suspension type races. The guys that are struggling or just fighting their vehicle the entire time, they want to see that smooth track because it kind of evens the playing ground a little bit. But the purists out there, like you mentioned, the guys that came from desert racing or pure off-road probably wouldn't mind it seeing chewed up just a little bit and put it more in the driver's hands and make you make those adjustments during the race.
Well, the rougher the track is, I think the more that it favors the motocross guys with that background, like the CJ Greaves, especially in Pro Light, like Cam Reimers, maybe CJ Greaves. The guys that got the motocross background, they can read the track, they see the ruts, they know how to handle it. The ones that aren't experienced or haven't had that motocross background,
get in trouble.
I think they're the ones that are going to have the problems out there. They don't know how to read the track quite as well as the guy with the motocross. I mean, look at the guys that are running up front in the Pro 2s and Pro 4s. The guys with the moto background, they know how to read the dirt. And then you guys like Rob McCachran, who just made a living racing on dirt.
Somebody is missing something. Melissa Hansen, you know Melissa Lynn Hansen. I know her middle name even. I even know when she was born. I know her address. I know it all because she lost her driver's license. If you want to come around here and try and find me and you match the picture. Now, if this is your fake license, I'm not going to give it to you. But if this is you.
He's going to test you for your birthday.
Yeah, you lost your driver's license, and I'll give it back. But Pro Light, they are trying to prep the track, getting ready for our 3 professional races. It's been sportsman up till now. We had 3 full races of Pro Class yesterday. We kicked things off at each one of these events with the Pro Light. So let's take a look back at Bark River round number 5, because today's round 6, and check out this action of how it went down with the green flag.
Actually, this looks like Charlotte. Yeah, this is Charlotte. How about that?
Cue Charlotte. All right. So the racing was so good in Charlotte, and we just teased that. The racing was so good in Charlotte. We saw Doug Matag, right? Well, we know he did good yesterday. He won here, but we saw Doug Matag out in front right there in that one. All right, Bark River was yesterday, and now we're going to take a look at Bark River yesterday, today.
Early on, Sean Morris pulls the whole shot. Very quickly, though, CJ Greaves working his way to the front from mid-pack. Sean Morris goes around, something that we don't like to see him do very often.
Pirouette's not a good thing, and another pirouette by the 7 of Keegan Kincaid. He was fast, got spun around by CJ Greaves. Greaves had to serve a penalty, pulled in for quite a while.
Yeah, they held him.
Till 12th place, actually.
Yeah. Competition yellow come out, back to green flag, and there's the man. And here's, I think, where it all happened. And no, I was going to say that's where the right rear came off on Keegan Kincaid. But Doug Matag and Keegan battled for the lead for quite a while.
Yeah, there may be the case of
there it is.
That may be when it happened right there, and that was the end of his day. Checker flag come out. Doug Matag took the win. Jared Brooks second, so that helped the points for Doug Matag. Third was C.J. Greaves. Fourth, Luke Johnson, and fifth went to Keegan Kincaid, even without that right rear tire on that.
Yeah, Luke had a really good run yesterday. That was nice to see him running the top 5. So Luke Johnson's getting that bugs worked out of his hot rod.
And there are the current point standings. Only a 4-point differential now with Jared Brooks. Doug Matag with that victory yesterday helped his cause a little bit, gained some ground. C.J. Greaves still only 11 points back in the Pro Lights. Keegan Kincaid, they're about halfway there, and Sean Morris about halfway there to C.J. Greaves.
It's got to be an interesting back in the pit area because they're teammates, Brooks and Matag. So interesting conversations, I'm quite sure. How it changes from the pits to the racetrack, who knows. But really good friends, best friends, I think. But teammates back in the pit, and they're battling for the championship, which makes for an interesting dynamic.
They raced well yesterday. We expect more of the same today. They're doing the final track preparations. I see the water trucks. I see the cat equipment now making their way off. When we come back, it'll be the Pro Lights here at Bark River for the throwdown in the UP.
If Blue Dev diesel exhaust fluid stands for one thing, it's purity. In fact, the folks that make it are sort of obsessed with it. That's why Blue Dev is the #1 brand of DEF in the whole country. Guys, do we have to do this right now?
Yep.
Manufactured here in the USA, Blue Def is available at over 25,000 retail locations. Blue Def, certified pure for your clean diesel SCR truck or car. Guys, I look like a lunch lady.
Yep.
So go get yourself some Blue Def at these great retailers.
Husqvarna's latest innovation is based on a simple fact. The Earth is not flat. It's hills, valleys, and uneven terrain inspired Husqvarna to create a line of all-wheel drive mowers that help make easy work of any mowing challenge. The Earth isn't flat, But with a Husqvarna all-wheel drive mower, it sure could feel that way. Find the all-wheel drive mower at your local Husqvarna dealer and Lowe's.
Welcome back. We're here at Bark River, Michigan for the throwdown in the UP, day number 2 of racing as we get ready now for the Pro Light Division. They should be coming out here at any moment for their half a lap, parade lap, kind of reconnaissance, and then get staged up and take that moving green flag start. The water trucks are still out throwing a little bit. We got one dozer out as the rest of the CAT equipment is pulled off to the side. We're just about ready to take the green flag, and the crowd's starting to line up on the hill here.
And let's talk about the conditions, because those of you at home watching around the world don't know what we're dealing with as far as weather. You see that AMSOIL banner, it's blowing. The Monster banner, it's blowing hard. 15, 20 miles an hour, pretty constant with some heavy gusts coming up. That does affect not only the track, but the trucks on the track, because we're reaching much faster speeds and also distances. You've talked about that one ski jump over there is huge, and where it looked like we had a headwind or tailwind in years past, you say we're having a left to right wind as they hit that jump this time.
Yeah, this is something I don't remember seeing a crosswind off the Cooper Tire Hill, so it's going to be very interesting. I predict that when they take off, if they catch the wind correctly, they'll probably, or wrong I should say, they'll probably carry the truck sideways to the right, probably a good truck length width at least. So they have to predict where to take off so they know where to land.
A little cool here today as well, but I mean, it's great. It's t-shirt weather, right on the verge of t-shirt or long sleeves, definitely not coat weather, but cool, probably right around 60 degrees this afternoon. It looks like there are some darker clouds starting to roll in to our left as we look at the track. It was a lot more blue skies earlier, and there is a boatload of rain that's going over Minnesota and to the left of us to the west, but hopefully that will stay away and we'll see the conditions we've seen so far this weekend, which have been awesome, minus the wind. But that keeps the monster mosquitoes out of here. And if you haven't been to the UP, you have not seen these things that look like condors. They're known as mosquitoes in these part of the woods.
Well, what's been really interesting too here over the years, just watching the weather patterns. We've seen the rain clouds come in, but somehow, whether it be the lake effect, just to like, what, 14 miles east of us, or just the different terrain, somehow always has split down the middle or gone to the north of us. So we're going to watch it. You said it's off to the left, which would be like the southwest of us. And that's kind of, we'll find out how the wind carries it around. But right now you can see on the screen, there's some of the crowd up on the hill getting ready for the Pro Light race. Just a moment ago, we were watching back in staging. So
other than those watching at home, those guys on the upper left-hand portion of the stands, they have the best vision, because in front of them is the main part of the track, and to the right is something we'll call, what do you call, a cemetery turn?
Yeah.
To the right-hand side, so there's a whole other portion to the right-hand side of the track.
There's CJ Greaves, and actually that's the Pro 2. So.
Yeah, with the, and we designate, oh yeah, I see the different backgrounds, but you're right. Pro 2's getting ready as well immediately following. So there's not much of a break in action except for the track preparation.
Now that right there is actually what we call a hot pit area. And the crews are all set up there with whether it be fire extinguishers or water bottles, extra tires, jacks. It pretty much, unless you time the pit right, if you have an issue, you have to pull in the hot pits. Unless you plan it right, your day could be over with. So that competition yellow also is another factor when if you can time your pit stop right or black flag correctly, you're not out of the race.
Right.
Without that competition yellow, if you have to come into the hot pits, your day's done.
Well, we saw that, didn't we? We saw that at Prim in one of the first 2 stops. We saw, I think it was CJ had to pull in at one time. Somebody had a tire change and come out, and they still finished on the podium. All right, let's go down to Taylor Snyder, who's our pit reporter today, as they're coming out with the Pro Lights now.
Well, as you can see, the Pro Light guys are lining up right now to get on the track. They're making their way out there. And I got a chance to speak to our pole sitter, Luke Johnson, and the guy right next to him, Brad Lovell. And let me just say, these guys are on the pole. They had some issues yesterday with their truck. Hopefully they got them fixed, they said. They'll be able to perform better. But what they're a little scared of is this West Coast kid, Jarrett Brooks, young, coming in hot and ready to take that win. So let's see if these guys who are been here before, our veterans, can take out that new guy, Jarrett Brooks.
All right, thanks a lot, Taylor. Here's our lineup real quick as we're going to rip through this real fast. On the front row, on the outside, it's from Colorado, it's Brad Lovell in that Nissan. Alongside him from Southern California, the son of Ricky Johnson, it's Luke Johnson.
Doug Matag's going to start in the number 3 position on that Cooper Tire Ram, sponsored by Ethica. In 4th will be Keegan Kincaid in the Cooper Tire Nissan, sponsored by Traxxas and Cooper Tires.
The Cooper Tire entry and Synergy Electric of Jared Brooks, our current points leader and fast time here this morning in the number 77. Alongside of him, the 33 out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, the Monster Toyota of C.J. Greaves.
Sean Morris start next, or behind those guys in the Maxxis Amsoil Ford. Next to him will be Travis Dinsmore on the Kinder Tire Nissan, sponsored by Ponzi and Kinder Tires.
Out of Charlotte, North Carolina, the younger brother of Jimmy Johnson, driving the Husqvarna Chevrolet. It's the 15 of Jesse Johnson. Alongside him from right here in Bark River, Michigan, the Nissan of Mark Kleiman.
Be on the lookout for Cam Reimers in the 21. He'll start behind them in the Radar Ford, the SSI Decals machine. Joe Sylvester on the JSM Team Cooper Tire Ram will start next to him in the number 8.
Starting 14th in the Pro Power Nissan on Toyo Tires, it is the Nissan of Jason Janis. Alongside of him from another driver out here at Bark River, it's Kyle Kleiman in the Ponzi Ford.
I think they might have switched. I think they threw a curveball to us. I think Cody may be in there today unless they switch it. Jason Janis will be behind them, and as well as Jake Sunderby. It looks like they're taking the full lap around, so a sight lap for these guys. Now they tell us, but they are doing cutting the corner. So Jason Janis in the Toyo Pro Power Nissan, as well as Jake Sunderby in the Custom Windows Plus Stack Stands Maxxis Tired Ford will start 15th in the number 58.
In the number 22, it's the SSI Decals, Ty Lube, and Maxon entry on Radar Tires. The 22 of Ian Harris alongside of him. Driving a Ram, it's the Canati number 95 of Andrew Kosick.
He's sponsored by bodybuilding.com and Wishes for Warriors in the Cooper Tire Ram. He had some technical difficulties yesterday. Bobby Runyon next to him will be Scott Beauchamp in the number 20 on the BFG Chevy, sponsored by Stewart Manufacturing.
Starting in the back row, it's the number 84 of Chris Bowser alongside of him. In the Ford on Cooper Tires, the Black Rhino Racer X entry, 54 of Brian Osborne.
So that's your field. You see the pace truck is out there. When he makes that left-hand sweeper turn, there's another flagging station up at the top. You see that scissor lift, or that lift that the camera's on. Again, this will be on the NBC Sports Network. You'll hear Tess Sewell as well as Ricky Johnson making a call. There's a cone that we cannot see out there, but you'll see a green flag in just a minute. We're ready to kick things off here in Pro Light.
Green flag is out, we're underway. Luke Johnson, that blue peak entry coming into turn number 1, has the whole shot. Now the track is a little greasy right now, so expect a lot of contact and a lot of slipping and sliding around.
4 wide into the first turn, and Luke Johnson turns around, does a donut, see if he can salvage. Looks like he's gonna drop back around 8th or 9th. Holding on to that top 10, looking at him 3 wide over the first double.
Brad Lovell takes the lead over Doug Matag. CJ Greaves in 3rd. Here comes Jared Brooks on the outside.
The Amsoil truck on the outside tried to stick a nose in on the inside. Doug Matag, he was fast yesterday. Where was the 44 yesterday? Not near as fast as he's showing right now.
Man, it didn't take long. We always use that analogy, cream rise to the top. But to have it done in the first half lap is simply amazing, as already the young guns are chasing down that veteran, former class champion from 2 years ago, Brad Lovell, right now with the lead.
Brad Lovell finished 17th yesterday. He's out in front right now, a position I was expecting to see. Might have been problems with the vehicle, but he's back out throwing it strong. I don't think anybody's been faster all week than Doug Matag. He's in 2nd, biding his time. Or is he? Looking at him jumping to the outside. He's trying to set up into that right-hander.
I trust you this. JT Taylor, the crew chief for Brad Lovell, the boys put their heads together and they worked on that truck overnight. But right now, Matag has passed Lovell, and now Matag running up front.
So Lovell, Matag been up there 1 and 2. Keegan Catade in 3rd. That last time around, Brooks, Greaves, and Jesse Johnson in 6th. Morris, Dinsmore after they crossed taking the green flag that first time around. I love how they set up on that tabletop jump. Oh,
big contact. Is that Greaves? Greaves and Lovell big contact coming off that downhill jump.
I think it was Lovell into Greaves. More like Greaves got the bad end of that deal, but looking out in front, Matag really not pulling out that much.
Greaves is smoking. Greaves got a little bit of smoke coming out of that truck. Cannot detect where it's coming from yet, but he's definitely got smoke coming out of the back of that Toyota.
So the 7 of Keegan Kincaid in there as well. In 2nd place now. He's starting to put on. He was fast yesterday, no question. Now Greaves, that race, he's on the outside going up this uphill. You saw a little puff of smoke. We'll see if we can see any more of that. His father made an awesome pass in this portion yesterday in the Pro 4. He took that outside line, squared it up, and dove to the inside. Will he do the same?
I think right now the track conditions are still a little bit too greasy for something like that to be able to predict this. But right now the battle between Matag and Kincaid, it's almost like an exact replay of what we saw yesterday.
Keegan wanted that inside, didn't he? Right in that front, that left front up there on that berm.
And the way the track is right now, the way it's slick and muddy, Kincaid,
Matag.
rotated a little bit by Matag. That gave you a little bit of advantage to Kincaid, but he cannot make the pass.
He looked like he was trying to turn left, and he couldn't get enough bite out of the truck to make it hook up and turn left. He was trying to shut the door, but that door was open nonetheless.
In the back section, it looks like C.J. Greaves got around Brad Lovell, so that puts, looks like Greaves up to the 4th spot, so Greaves now may be on the move.
Remember, Greaves yesterday had to acknowledge the black flag. He's in 4th right now. He looked to have a chance to win that race, but it cost him, and he rotates behind these front 2 guys.
And look at Luke Johnson. Luke Johnson now in the top 5. He's been stealth the first half of this race, moving up.
Good race up in front, though. Doug Matag, Keegan Kincaid. Keegan Kincaid in that Traxxas entry, nice yaw out of those. When you see in the whole left side of the truck, and we're looking at it from the right, you know that thing's trying to twist in the air. You talked about Luke Johnson. We see the truck's driveway. Brad Lovell up there in 4th behind Jared Brooks. Luke Johnson up into 5th. So once he finally got those first turn jitters, you're right, Luke Johnson might be one to watch, and I thought he was fast yesterday. He had a chance to win as well.
Yeah, and once again, it's just a nickel and dime part he's having problems with. He's always fast, but he's got these gremlins he's kind of trying to get over, and he's always finding more.
Thought I saw something behind Brooks, which would have told me, I don't know who the 4th place, so we'll have to see when they come back around. I thought I saw somebody go off the track. Might not be the case, but
man, Jared Brooks lost both rear fenders.
And that's your series points leader as well, Jared Brooks. He has a 4-point advantage over Doug Matag. Matag's out in front. He's effectively the points leader if it stood right now at the end of the day.
I really like what I'm seeing in Keegan Kincaid right now. Not touching our leader, but letting him know that he's there.
He's caressing him.
Oh boy, from a distance almost, from a slight distance.
Good race for 3rd, 4th, and 5th behind these front 2 as it's still Jared Brooks in 3rd. And Doug Matag still trying to hold off the 7, or is he? I mean, is he just out there running his race?
He's got the lead. If you got it, you might as well try to keep it. There's no saving the truck for the race if you got the lead.
3rd is still Brooks, Lovell in 4th, Greaves in 5th, Luke Johnson in 6th.
And what's really interesting, our leaders, both the trucks, both Matag and Kincaid are running different lines, but neither one is pulling on the other. Now look how straight the line is for Kincaid, which gives him advantage up the hill, but he has to lift because Matag takes the line away.
Speaking of Matag, him in the back end right there, and almost was Keegan Kincaid. I love that, because if you're taking different lines, you're opening yourself up for a pass. You're not going to pass anybody following his tracks. But he's on the outside.
Kincaid had it, but he had to just a little bit turn to the right in that left-hand turn, which lost momentum, but Kincaid's not lifting a bit. He may be completing the pass on the outside.
And it looks like he did. Yeah, he shut the door on him. He kept the grip going and set it up in the air. He was turned, and now we've got a 3-way battle. Look at Jared Brooks, who's been the fastest this season. That young kid, number 77, back there in 3rd.
I'm telling you right now, Kincaid flexed his muscle right there. He made the pass on the outside of the most difficult part of this racetrack, and now it looks like he may be pulling away.
But again, we will have a competition caution at the halfway point. Jared Brooks, that's the guy to look for in 3rd. The 77 wants to get up to 2nd. You don't want to be in 3rd. You've got to pass 2 guys. When you only have 1 to deal with, that's a whole nother story. Still, Brooks in 3rd, Lovell 4th, Greaves 5th, Luke Johnson, Jesse Johnson, and Sean Morris rounding out the top 8.
Oh, Brooks took a look at the inside of a tag for the cemetery turn. Now look how wet and greasy it looked back there.
But it gives a different line. If the driver that you were behind, if he makes a mistake, you can get around. If you follow him and he makes a mistake, you might get caught up in it.
So it looks like Matag running in 2nd. And I gotta give it to Brooks right now because it looks like he's biding his time a little bit. He's kind of sizing up where everybody's going in their lines.
He looked a lot like Kincaid earlier.
Exactly, yeah. I think he's just waiting his time right now.
Man, this is
studying the top 2
what a race for these top 3 guys. But you're right, Jared Brooks back in 3rd, looks fast. But I know he wants to be in 2nd at least for the restart. Competition yellow is coming out this next time around. Let's see. There's only a couple of turns, and we'll see if Brooks can make that pass. Matag's trying to get out in front and get by Kincaid. Matag, and Brooks with only 2 turns remaining.
And Greaves just got around Brad Lovell, so Greaves now into the 4th spot.
So as they take the competition yellow, it's still going to hold on. Kincaid, Matag, and Brooks. Watch the following behind them, as it looks like CJ Greaves is going to finish in 4th for the first half.
Johnson.
Oh, Luke, get in there.
Looks like Johnson may have peeked the inside, and Lovell tried to move up 1 spot right before the flag.
Didn't happen.
No.
But look, he dropped back at least to 10th place and worked his way up to 4th and was in 5th for a portion of that race. So he still has something for this second half. We're looking at the 84 of Chris Bowser out there, as he's one of the remaining drivers getting ready for the second half of this race with this competition yellow.
As the rest of the field crosses the line, they'll have to get on that throttle a little bit to work their way around to pick up the rest of the field for this competition yellow.
All right, that's it. We're going to take a break for a second. Competition yellow. We'll come back with the second half of the Pro Lights right after this.
When you take that checkered flag and you're standing top on the box, you're proud to have AMSL on your shirt. But I tell you what, when you take that motor apart in the dyno room and you look at those bearings and you see how great they are, you're really proud to be an AMSL driver and to be representing a team that has product that's that good.
This is definitely one of the most exciting pro light races out here, and of course on a legendary Bark River track. But there are 2 important battles going on out here. The first 3 are Keegan Kincaid, Doug Matag, and Jarrett Brooks, all really close together. And of course we have that second battle going on, which is CJ Greaves, Brad Lovell, and Luke Johnson out there. So it's going to be really exciting once this yellow flag drops to see how bunching them back together will affect these 2 battles and who will definitely come out on top.
Thanks a lot, Taylor, and we'll see how those front 3 do as they take the green flag for the second half. We're 5 laps down, 5 more still to go. It's about to get good here, Scott, like it wasn't good already.
Man, from 4th, 5th on back, look at the snootful these guys are getting roosted by. Just mud flying everywhere up into that cockpit.
And CJ Greaves back in 4th. Looks like he's trying to put the pressure on early and try and get by Jarrett Brooks.
Nice jump for Keegan Kincaid, already about 3, maybe 4 car length lead. So that's exactly what he's got to do. He's got to check out right now.
Brad Lovell back in 5th. Luke Johnson really squares it up, and he's going to have a run right there on that top 5. Look at Luke Johnson going at it. Ricky Johnson, his father's not spotting for him now because he's actually doing the color commentary call for the NBC Sports Network. So I wonder who's talking to Luke right now, but he's in his ear telling him to take that inside line.
Well, whoever's doing it is doing a heck of a job right now, because it looks like the Bucks may have gotten work out of that truck just in time for this race. He's always shown flashes of speed. Oh, contact made between him and Lovell. A little upset on that suspension a little bit by Luke Johnson, but was able to save it and save that position.
And he make the pass. He's in 5th now. He was in 6th at this restart, so he's caught up to 5th. And the last lap of the previous half, he was the quickest of all of our drivers.
When you factor in all the different jumps, the track conditions, dry, slick, mud, wet, whatever it may be, it's simply amazing, because we looked at the lap times right before the competition yellow, and 2 1/1000ths of a second separated Luke Johnson's fast lap from Doug Matag's fast lap. 2 1/1000ths, absolutely astounding.
Still Keegan Kincaid in the 7. Well, that Cooper-tired Nissan out in front, separating himself just a little bit ahead of Doug Matag. In 3rd place, still Jarrett Brooks, CJ Greaves. They look like they were that first lap in the second half. The only one really closing, I think, might be Luke Johnson, and he might be closing a little bit. We'll look at the lap times. 1:26.6, the fastest lap times. Doug Matag that time around.
Yeah, our top 3 drivers are the only ones that broke into that 126 second bracket. So Luke Johnson 127, CJ Greaves 126, 1, 2, and 3 all in the 126 area. Fourth on back 127, 129 by Brad Lovell. So
but our
the
top
lap times vary a lot.
1, 2, 3. Our top 3 only separated by 2.5 seconds. Our top 4 now only 2.5 seconds. So one bobble and this whole thing can get shaken up quickly. I do not see Luke Johnson this time in 5th.
Nope.
So something happened to him and he dropped out. But let's see how aggressive he's front 4 look right now. I don't know. Keegan Kincaid, he looks strong. But now we got to pass for the second position. Jared Brooks on the inside. Can he hold it on? Matag's going to be set up into this left. Matag holds on to it. We'll see if Brooks can get a hard drive on that outside again.
Oh, man, Matag made a great turn. But here comes Brooks the inside.
He guarded
teammates,
it.
door handle, teammates right there. Rubbing paint. How about that? Neither driver's 18 years old.
Don't you think Matag guarded that outside? You know, knowing that his teammate Brooks was going to be out there, and he opened the door because Brooks thought ahead of it.
I wonder if the spotters are standing next to each other up in the spotters area. Here comes Jared Brooks right back to the inside through that cemetery corner. Brooks now has the inside line all the way around.
Look how low Jared Brooks is.
Here comes Greaves.
CJ's coming in there out of nowhere.
Greaves is making it 3 wide to the cemetery turn. They make contact.
And they're still on it. And Greaves goes from 4th to 3rd and almost into 2nd. And in a blink of an eye, none of those drivers let off one bit.
Not a bit. Luke Johnson back on the track, but he's about to go 1 lap down, so something did happen to the back.
Smoking Brooks has got something wrong. Is it tires rubbing something, or does he have something wrong with the motor? Oh, man. And
something in the rear end of that
That's your
truck.
series points leader.
It looks like something in the right rear on that race truck. We'll see it right now. It looks like it's probably a tire.
He's going to have to pull off and get a tire change, and we're after that competition yellow. He's just trying to salvage as many points as he can. The guy who was 2nd, only 4 points behind, Doug Matag, is up there near the front, so he's going to lose that points lead. Matag's going to acquire it if he can stay out in front, but he's got a lot of pressure from CJ Greaves right now in 3rd.
So that was due to contact, I'm sure, with CJ Greaves in the middle of that sandwich.
Right.
That was due to contact with Greaves. That was just flat out racing, man. I'm surprised there weren't more flat tires than that.
Keegan Kincaid out in front, Doug Matag in 2nd, CJ Greaves in 3rd, 8 laps down. I believe they should get the white flag possibly the next time around. And Luke Johnson's just in front of our leader, and he's fast, but if you're keeping a leader's pace, that could cause some problems. It might bunch the field up a little bit more, too, and close that 2.5 second gap that Kincaid had over Matag.
He was running lap times equal to that of the leaders, so he's not just going to, he's the kind of driver, he might pull off to the side and let the leaders race.
But he's also a guy that was right around that top 5 in points, so he's trying to salvage points as well. Look at that race, Doug Matag in the 81, CJ Greaves just behind him. They're going after it for the championship. CJ goes to the inside. You can see some blue groove. That's the driest portion of the course we've seen all day today.
There's also some blue groove back in that dogleg area just past the cemetery turn where all that contact was made, so it's real slick back there as well. And I'm telling you right now, CJ is faster than Matag. He's just trying to find that spot where there's a hole on the track that he can jump through and get by Matag.
He's getting really good drive, and I like his lines. His dad's probably making the calls for him up there, and Dad knows his place, probably knows it so well. That might have been why he didn't show up for the Pro 4 practice this morning. But CJ is trying to close in on 2nd, and now we see the situation where Luke Johnson may be slowing up Keegan Kincaid a little bit up in front.
Yeah, last time by, Greaves has the fastest lap time out of everybody.
By 0.3 of a second over Matag, so.
Oh, here we go. Oh, it's going to be a sandwich. Luke Johnson's going to be in the middle of it.
Yeah, Keegan Kincaid now look behind. There's CJ on the inside. He's in the blue groove. Look at this. We saw 3 wide here a moment ago. It's only going to be 2 this time. And the next time around, they will receive the white flag. So CJ only has so much time. Matag is trying to hold him off for about a lap and a half.
Actually, it looks like it's out right now. The white flag is out right now. Our leader's up in that left side of the course, or right side of the course. Greaves goes inside of a tag. They make contact. Door handle. Greaves will now take second.
So yes, the checkered flag will be coming out. So this is it. I must have missed the first half of that, or somebody did. Either way, but the white flag is now going to be replaced to a checkered. Look at Greaves. He's getting that pressure from a tag again. Look at the race for second. The race for the lead's out. I mean, he's done. Kincaid's going to win this thing if he keeps it on 4 wheels. But look at this. Matag going back at it again.
Matag, perfect corner, squared it out. Try the inside line. It's not going to happen. That back of that truck is hopping through the air. Kincaid will take the win. CJ Greaves second, third. We're going to talk Matag.
I hate seeing Luke Johnson come across a lap down because he definitely could have been in that mix. Brad Lovell, it looks like the 44, holding on for fourth. Good to see him recover from that 17th place finish yesterday. As drivers still racing through the pack, the 20 and the 42 still going at it for position.
How about that, crossing the line? Brian Osborne, great run by him. Joe Sylvester finishes 6th. 42 of Mark Kleiman comes across the line, battling local guys. Yeah, both local guys. Nice one for them, both in the top 10. Cam Reimer, Sean Morris, 9th and 10th.
Andrew Cossack coming across, the number 9 as well, of Bobby Runyon, who had, I think it's tie rod problems. I thought I saw on his Facebook yesterday.
Yeehaw.
Jesse Johnson coming across. I'm sure he's not so happy. And Jared Brooks just now coming across and having that flat tire with less than 2 laps to go. Well, the pro lights have been completed. What a race, Scott Rain. The fans here in the stands, they were cheering as well, but I'm sure there were some people watching on their computers at home that were probably pretty stoked about the situation as well.
Well, I got to throw out to the camera guys here this weekend. I mean, this is not the perfect conditions for these guys to do their jobs. I mean, with the wind, how can you keep those cameras steady to focus in and provide the quality pictures that we're getting? This is great.
Yeah, Ray, I believe he may be up there on the top, and he's getting the brunt of it. Camera number 1, he told me that's what he was. But yeah, the wind's blowing to the side. These are big, heavy cameras and trying to hold on, but they're used to it. As long as it's not rainy, I think they're happy right now. But what a race in pro lights. Exactly what we've seen the entire year. But unfortunately for Jared Brooks, he got in that sandwich that we saw, and it's going to cost him a points lead. And in his case, I hope it doesn't cost him a championship, even though there are several races still remaining. All right, we're going to step away for just a moment. Scott Rain, it's getting windy out here. You better batten down the hatches. Taylor, she's making her way over to the victory podium, and we'll hear from our winner as he climbs out of the truck right after this.
Fire and EMS professionals often use gas-powered tools and depend on this equipment to start when needed. That's why they use VP small engine fuel, formulated with no ethanol to prevent fuel system damage and ensure easier starts. It's designed for both 2- and 4-cycle engines. Try VP small engine fuels for your gas-powered tools so they'll start when you need them. Order online at homedepot.com or visit your local dealer.
Well, you see me.
Yeah.
I'm starting to batten down the hatches now. I'm getting all the dust off of me. I didn't know I was coming to a summertime event and I would need a jacket. It's starting to get chillier here. Probably in the.
You've heard of technology, right?
Yeah.
Your smartphone has location on it.
I call it
Bark River.
It's my dumb phone. But 60 sounds great when you're used to 90 degrees at home. But welcome everybody here to Bark River. It's starting to get a little bit chilly, but the wind is really picking up. Actually, it's calmed down this very second, but 15, 20-mile-an-hour winds, but gust up to 30, 35 at the end. It's starting to dry out the track. We're seeing some of the track changes.
Yeah, in fact, sounds like Taylor Snyder has got our winners. Taylor?
Thanks, Scott. That's right. I'm down here with some pretty excited guys from ProLite, and what a race that was. I'm going to start with our third-place finisher, Doug Matag. Now, Doug, there was a lot of battles going on out there. You held the lead for a while. You were battling with your friend and teammate, Jarrett Brooks. Luckily, you were able to seize that opportunity when he got a flat tire. Tell me about that.
Yeah, the start of the race, I got up front, and I was pumped on that. And me and the team made a change on my truck last night after the win, and we were just trying to push and go faster, and we went the opposite way, unfortunately. But I can't thank them enough for working their butts off, and all the fans out here for supporting and everybody like that. And bummer for my teammate. He's been on the podium every single round except for this one, so we were battling out, and he ended up getting a flat. So we'll come back at Crandon going for the win. And I can't thank my sponsors enough. No Grady, RDE Transmissions, Cooper Tires, COD, AMSOIL, RC10.com, everybody.
All right, well, big congratulations, Doug, and I'm sure we'll see a lot of you from, Crandon.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be coming in.
All right, well, let's move on over to our second-place finisher, CJ Greaves. CJ, we saw you up here yesterday, too. Quite a battle you were having out there. There was another battle going on behind the top three leaders in the first half of that race, and that was with Brad Level and Luke Johnson. Luckily, after that yellow flag, you were able to bunch him back up and seize your opportunity. And, of course, on that last lap, take us through that part.
Yeah, I got off to a decent start. I started third row, and then I made a little mistake all on my own and over-rotated and let Brad and Luke go by, and then I had my work cut out for me to try to get around them before the half, and I ended up coming around fourth right behind the top three guys, and we all got into it in the back. I think Jared slid a little wide and got into Doug, and then we all hit off the jump, and unfortunately Jared got a flat tire, but from there on we just kept our head down and kept digging. I mean, we're here for the points championship, and we're just going to keep going.
All right, what can we expect to see out of you from Crandon? Because we know this is not the position you like to be in. You like to be in one more up there.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be up on the podium. I mean, every podium is definitely better than having something else go wrong, and we're in it for the points hunt, so we're just going to keep chugging away and hopefully come out with a championship.
Well, consistency is key, so I can't wait to see what comes out of you in Crandon.
Thank you. I can't thank my mom and dad, my sister, all my family, the Lord for keeping me safe, all you fans for coming out here, Monster, Toyota, Maxxis, Method Wheels, AMSOIL, Troy Lee Designs, everyone that helps us, big thanks to them.
All right, well, congratulations to CJ Greaves. Moving on up to our leader up here, a little tall, Keegan Kincaid. Keegan, you had some issues yesterday with your tire. It looks like, again, you had a flat tire today, but luckily this did not stop you from making the top spot on the podium. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be up right here now and seeing all my crew and everybody, all my family here. And I got to say happy Father's Day to my dad. You know, I never got an opportunity to, so he's out there, but he's the main part. I'm here. But we just had bad luck this year, and come out here and finally be on the podium and in the top spot. I just can't thank my team, Traxxas, Cooper Tires, everybody that's behind me, Fox, Mastercraft Safety. We're just happy to be up here, and hopefully you can continue.
This definitely was about redemption today, and I know this is one of your favorite tracks, and of course some awesome fans out here watching you today. But what does it mean going into Crandon with this new attitude, with the win under your belt?
Oh, it means everything. You know, I feel like I had some bad luck and a chip on my shoulder, but finally get it off and hopefully continue this momentum into Crandon is just huge for me.
All right, well, you saw that race up there, and you heard it from the guys here. So give it up for all of your ProLite podium finishers, Doug Matag, CJ Greaves, and Keegan Kincaid.
All right, so welcome back here, and I think Taylor pointed out a few things, or I think CJ pointed out a few things, and those guys that, you know, they're in it for the points. It's a long points battle. Now Doug Matag will be the points leader after a great run here today. When I'm looking at Keegan Kincaid's races up to this point, 7th, 4th, 10th, 19th, 5th, all over the board. Jarrett Brooks, on the other hand, didn't finish any worse than 3rd. He has his one bad day. Will it cost him?
You know, it's a long season. It kind of is, it kind of isn't, but every point counts. And these guys go all the way back to race 1. They don't like save their trucks for the first half and then make a run at it for the second half. Every single point counts. But I don't know if you noticed watching that interview of our top 3 finishers, the roles were kind of reversed. I was kind of watching Doug Matag's reaction. He didn't smile a bit up there. He was not happy. Opposite of what we saw yesterday or earlier in the season, every time he's in the podium, I love the competitive nature. That's my point. I love the competitive nature of these young guys up there. CJ Greaves, kind of smiling, kind of not. He was on the podium, that's all he cared about. But you know what? Crap on that. He wants to be the top spot. Come on.
You're right.
We all know the Greaves boys. They want that top spot.
Looking at him at tag, he's got the 2 wins on this year, but he has yet to finish outside that top 5. He has one of those championship kind of runs going right now. He's going to be the points leader. Consistency wins championship. I know it's a cliche, but right now, Doug Matag has been the most consistent in the Pro Lights class.
We'll take a quick look at the race we just had, the Pro Light. I got to say, early on, it was a great run by Luke Johnson. I thought he might have had something for the guys here this afternoon.
A horrible first turn, though. Watch him here in the 14 as he makes the right, and then more right, and then more right.
And too much right.
Yeah. 4 rights equal straight away, I think. And he dropped back right around that top 10. Doug Matag, he really picked it up. And Brad Lovell, who we saw finish 17th yesterday, he was battling for the lead early on.
And then at the drop of the green flag, there's what we're talking about.
That was the
3
contact.
wide, yeah. Now, there's a little bit of technology, you know, about these bead-locks. We'll have to talk about that later on, but there's something about that, those bead-locks, to prevent flat tires from contact. Again, Keegan Kincaid, last couple laps, just basically ran away with it.
Yeah, the Traxxas truck looked strong. The race was behind him. You see 3 guys wide there for just a moment. Doug Matag trying to hold off CJ Greaves until CJ gets inside on one of the slipperiest turns of the entire track. A little blue groove, a checker flag comes out, taking the victory. And the win goes to Keegan Kincaid 2nd, CJ Greaves, Doug Matag in 3rd. So first victory of the 2014 season, and they're doing a little track prep, trying to take care of some of that blue groove and get ready for the Pro 2 here in just a moment, the Pro 2-wheel drive. All right, so we'll step aside for just a minute. You see the course workers out there. They're trying to make it as good as possible. It's a great day here at Bark River, Michigan. It's a throwdown in the UP, stop number 6 of TORC, the Off-Road Championship.
I'm one of the owners for Total Chaos Fabrication. I'm also one of the drivers. We have to test our equipment. You have one opportunity to nab the money shot. I have to believe that it's going to be accessible and it's not going to fail on me. We'll travel with equipment like external WD hard drives. We have to trust that the equipment's going to protect our data. I have to believe in what I'm using and I have to have trust in it.
As the velocity of change in the world increases, so does the promise of opportunity. For over 86 years, we've stayed true to the belief that if you put quality in, you get quality out. No matter the job, our equipment is built for it. No matter the ask, our dealers are up for it. No matter the challenge, you'll be ready for it. Build on a company that's built for it.
Took them out of the race. Welcome back here to Bark River, Michigan. It's a throwdown in the UP. Just done with the Pro Light, getting ready now for Pro 2. Still working on that track, and again, we got to throw it out to these cat guys. Provided some fantastic equipment, almost like a Sunday drive for these guys out here to be working on a racetrack. Not like what we used to see when we were little kids on all these highway workers on these big equipment where they were wide open out in the elements, and right now they're probably cranking, you know, who knows, Jimmy Buffett or something inside these carpeted interiors.
Yeah, good jump. I believe they're doing last call for our raffle here. So if you have not bought a raffle ticket, the 50-50, they're doing last call. I don't know, it's a raffle and the 50-50. They're not the same thing, though, right? Or they are the same thing. So they're doing last call. So those of you around the world that are watching wonder what the heck are you talking about? Last call. That's not what I'm thinking of. They actually had a raffle here, a 50-50 drawing yesterday, and over $2,800. A guy won. It looked like he had about 10 tickets. They were $1 tickets. So he had $10 worth of tickets. He won $2,822. So last call.
Let's take a look at some Pro 2 action that we had yesterday before the race here today. Real interesting start. We had Ari Leindyke Jr. and Steve Barlow on the front row, but it was all about Chad Horde yesterday afternoon, working his way through the field, gets by Steve Barlow, tracking down Jeff Kincaid. How much of a Cinderella story was it for a local kid to do well?
Yeah, no, that was awesome. It lives, what, 20 miles from here, just right down the road, out past the exit towards his, towards his house. CJ Greaves was in there. He was fast yesterday in both of his classes. In both times, he was in position for the win, and he started out second in the restart. But then we have a little contact and even more contact. Neither driver's fault. It's just a racing incident, but it took them both out of the equation for the win.
There's Andy Zipper had an issue with a little bit of a fire. They got that taken care of. Meanwhile, all of a sudden it turned into a CJ and Chad Horde battle, and CJ was on the move. He was reeling in Chad towards the end of that race.
Yeah, I said it took him out of position to win. No, he still had a shot to win, but not near as good a shot as if he wouldn't have spun the truck around. Chad looks so good in that number 9. I mean, he's a points leader coming in, and he stretched out that distance with the victory, and CJ Greaves put all kinds of pressure, but he couldn't put enough to phase him yesterday.
Yeah, and this hill came alive right at that point yesterday afternoon. They just were so excited. Everybody's on their feet, so Chad Horde takes the win. And, yeah, you don't see emotion like this out of him very often, but that was cool to see right there, too. And especially throw out a big word out to Barlow, finishing on the podium for the first time this year.
In the CAD truck, as you take a look at the points, he separated himself a little bit further from CJ Greaves. Chad Horde now with a 13-point advantage. Jared Johnson, Mike Jenkins, and Ari Leindyke now into the top 5, rounding out that top 5 again with about 40 less in those top 2 drivers. So will we see a repeat today? Chad Horde, CJ Greaves going at it. Ari Leindyke, we see him 5th in points. Ari said he's starting to finally figure out this track. It's probably not an easy track to figure out right off the bat in one day of practice.
Well, we talked about this yesterday. I think the biggest thing you got to come to figure out is these corners aren't true, nice, oval kind of corners. You start the turn, a little bit of a straight, again, they kind of get egg-shaped, and trying to negotiate these corners, almost like you have to set up the truck once or twice through the corners to get the rotation
Double
down.
apex or decreasing radius type turns.
And then you got to keep up your momentum through that same corner, too.
Right. I agree. And elevations here as well. The elevation changes just in the first turn. Once they take that hilltop, what would you say? At least 25, 30, 40 feet of elevation from the bottom here raising up. I'd say 30 or 40 at least.
At least, yeah, minimum.
But all that weight, though, means that you're putting weight on the front end coming into that. That means your front end's trying to bite, the rear end's not. So if you're trying to turn with the front end and 2-wheel drive, the back end's wanting to swap around, just like we saw with Luke Johnson just a moment ago. When you're diving in the front, the rear's lightened up.
And that's, I mean, what's kind of neat in these trucks is that we talked about this earlier this season. Some of the guys have dual brake pedals that kind of overlap each other.
Right and left?
Yeah.
Right and left or front and back?
Front and back, but the thing is you can adjust the brake bias also with a little valve off to the side. So some of the guys got that overlapping pedal, so you can hit both pedals and have both brakes actuate, or just one or the other. So there's that, and again, obviously while the racing's going on, they can adjust that brake bias. That's really important. So while the race is going on, like I said, they are working inside that cockpit with the shifting, with the braking, with the turning. You're talking to your spotter, you're listening, you're hitting the button.
Pulling tear-offs.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards, plus you're adjusting the brake bias. And the thing is, you could turn it the wrong way and really screw up the handling of that truck.
Been there.
So
well, the Pro 2s are good. I even see
what's that little one in the back there?
That's a small Pro 2 right there. No, they've got some some carts that they're going to go 6 to 12 years after we have our pro racing. The kids are going to go out there, the future stars of TORC, the Off-Road Championship. But the Pro 2s are about to go here in just a moment. And, of course, the Pro 4s that are lined up as well. So we'll take a step back for just a moment, come back here at Bark River, Michigan, the 6th round of TORC, the Off-Road Championship, right after this.
Emergency safety crews depend on their gas-powered equipment to start when they need it. That's why they use VP small engine fuels, formulated with no ethanol to prevent fuel system damage and ensure easier starts. Designed for both 2- and 4-cycle engines. Try VP small engine fuels for your gas-powered tools so they'll start when you need them. Order online at homedepot.com or visit your local dealer.
Once again, welcome back, everybody, here to Bark River, Michigan. It's day 2 of the Throwdown in the UP. We're just moments away from bringing out the Pro 2 race. We got 10 entries coming out here trackside, and I'm going to, for the first time this week, I'm going to throw it out to you. What's your prediction for this race? Who do you got?
Man, why you got to do that?
That's why, because I can.
Looking at points, you'd have to say Chad Horde. Looking at the hometown favoritism, you know, and the track experience, I would say Chad Horde. But CJ's look fast. I would have to say, in my mind, my educated opinion, I'd have to say CJ would probably be the one that I would pick, just because he's had a couple of bobbles and it's cost him wins, but he has been there every single time in this class. Remember, he got hooked up and still caught back up with Horde in round number 5 yesterday. You're going to tell me Horde, aren't you? Your pick.
When I go to Vegas, I donate. I don't gamble. I just
same here.
I donate.
Same
but
here.
I'm going to gamble. I'm going to throw a dark horse out there, and I'm going to throw out Jarrett Johnson.
Okay.
He's due. I mean, he's getting a little bit faster and a little bit faster.
He was 6 yesterday.
He's getting that truck figured out. And the thing is, I mean, he had nothing but bugs at the beginning of the season. Just stupid things. And I think this track falls into his driving style. So he's starting on the pole. So
Steve Barlow, another guy to look at in the Cat truck. He finished 3rd yesterday. He's going to start in 4th, but he's another guy. Again, you got to get to that competition yellow, really. That's where the race, within the race starts, is that second half.
Well, I got kind of motivation behind picking Jarrett Johnson, too. So if Jarrett does very well today, I can give Jim a call from Husqvarna and kind of get on him a little bit for not being here.
Let's talk about the inverted start a little bit. We see Chad Horde was yesterday's winner, where the points guy who's out in front, and CJ Greaves. So he's the points leader. He's actually starting in 6th, and CJ starting in 5th. Why is that?
Well, you go out there. It's to the they start with how you finished in the race.
Okay.
And then they pull a number. I think it was this morning at the drivers' meeting, I believe. I'm not sure when they do it, but they pick a number.
Popsicle stick or a ping pong ball or something.
It's either 3 or 6. So obviously the number 6 was pulled, and that's what they invert.
That's where the leader will start, and then they work their way back.
It kind of keeps when we qualify on day 1 of the weekend, and then we go according to finishing order on day 2, and then you kind of throw a wrench in the middle of it and have that.
Minus our lights actually did get to qualify this morning, though. That's a big class. I think that's good that they had that re-rack again. So, and that is the only race that we've had complete here today as far as the pros are concerned. Had some sportsman class racing. We're going to be back here in about a month to Bark River, Michigan for the big race, the one that was scheduled. Again, this is a fill-in race, one that thank goodness this facility is here and the fans turned out, and it's gone off with great success so far. Thank goodness they were able to offer up this date, because we were originally supposed to be at Gateway Park in St. Louis, and it's down in the floodplain, and they had a lot of floods come through there, and they're actually getting quite a bit of rain came through there today. So thank you
got to
everybody
understand
here.
that the Lions Club, they spend an entire year planning, working
for that one race,
designing. I mean, all their marketing, everything, working on this racetrack, cutting the grass, all the track improvements for the fans as well as on the track. It takes an entire year to do all that. And then it was 5 weeks ago we were in Charlotte, and we knew then that there was going to be a problem with St. Louis just because of the floodplain on the Mississippi River, which the racetrack falls within that parameters.
Right.
And that there's just no way a track was going to be able to be built in time because of the muddy conditions. So, I mean, one phone call at Charlotte, and the Lions Club stepped up and said, heck yeah, we want you here. And they grabbed the bull by the horns, and they did all this within a 4-week time span. So kudos to the Lions Club.
It's good for the fans, too, though, because, I mean, these are off-road people. These are your people. You're the voice of off-road. That's what your email says. I mean, but you get to see these fans come out, and then they get the opportunity to see it twice, where they thought they were only going to get to see it once. But you'll see a lot of these fans move on to Crandon, Wisconsin. It looks like Taylor Snyder's down there as Pro 2s get ready. Taylor, what do you got for us for Pro 2?
Well, the weather is definitely going to come back into play for this race, and especially for one of the drivers, Steve Barlow. Now, he was pretty sick yesterday, and the important thing today is the wind. It's throwing up a lot of dust, and that's definitely affecting him with his trouble already breathing out there. He has no voice, but he's definitely got young gun CJ behind him. So let's see if this veteran can hold out with the dust, and make it back on that podium today.
Yeah, without a doubt, never thought of that. This, the dusty and the wind, how it's going to affect Steve, because he was in the hospital 2 days ago with bronchitis, so can't be easy for him right now.
Nope, and Barlow will start in 4th, just ahead of CJ Greaves, Chad Horde on that 3rd row. So your pick, Jared Johnson in the 7-4.
I'm donating today, yeah.
You want to go through? Let's go ahead and go through our Pro 2 starting grid. Starting in 10th, Mike Jenkins out of Plano, Texas on that Cooper Traxxas Cooper Tires Ram. In 9th, Jeff Kincaid on the Cooper Tires Traxxas Ford out of Argonne, Wisconsin.
Andy Zipper's out there in the number 76, that white Ford. Alongside of him, that orange Chevy out of Monona, Iowa. The Maxxis Tires Champions Trail Ready V-Locks is number 3 of Justin Keener.
What do you think about this guy? Can he do it again? Starting 6th in the Maxxis Boss Snowplow Amsoil Maxxis Nissan out of Felch, Michigan, Chad Horde. And in 5th, CJ Greaves will be out there out of Abrams, Wisconsin on that Maxxis Monster Toyota. He was 2nd yesterday, trying to improve that today.
Starting that 4th spot out of Temecula, California, driving that Cat Equipment number 2, Steve Barlow. Alongside of him, that Gunk Lubricant Genius Tools Cooper Tires entry number 25 of Ari Lyondike Jr.
What about in 2nd, the number 91 Maxxis Tires, Tyree Motorsports, Diffenbach Construction Ford. That is Nick Tyree out of San Diego, and his next door neighbor out of El Cajon, California, Maxxis Husqvarna Chevrolet Powered Machine. That is Jarrett Johnson in the 7-4. So we'll see how they do. This has been a strong field. Again, we haven't had any snoozers at any stop, at any class of TORC the Off-Road Championship this year. And we race to that competition yellow, and then we race to the checkered after that.
It's going to be really interesting. I would love to see Nick Tyree to have a really good run. Super, super nice guy. Really hungry, but he's got a brand new truck right now, Key Stamper built chassis. Done a ton of work on that thing, and he just wants a good run. It'd be great to see him have it today.
Let's see Jared Johnson. He's on the inside closest to the stands. We're fired up here. Pro 2 about to start. Who's going to get the whole shot?
Pace truck's off the track. Green flag is waving. Here we go to turn 1. Pro 2, Jared Johnson with the whole shot.
And a face full of roofs for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Lyondike back into 3rd now, and is CJ Greaves on the outside. Will he make the pass and get up there into 3rd? He's going to be on the inside, but remember, they just watered the track, and CJ takes over 3rd.
That did not take long. Ari Lyondike 4th, Chad Horde 5th, Steve Barlow in the 6th spot.
Now we're seeing Horde back there. You see him on the inside of that red truck. He takes over 4th position, but it's going to be a drag race down that straightaway and making that right-hand turn up the hill. Green flag, that means go to this 10-lap Pro 2 wheel drive race.
Already kind of a nice gap. The guys getting positions all set, but look at the front spot. Tyree running in 2nd. Greaves just buried in that roost right now.
That inside was really slick earlier. Now look at Greaves on the outside trying to get by Tyree. Look for his run. He'll square it up early as they make that left to try and set up just a little bit earlier to make that run toward that big catapult jump.
Whoa, Jared Johnson got a little sideways in the air coming down the Cooper Tire Hill, was able to correct it, maintains the lead, and CJ Greaves slides into 2nd. Slides right in front of Tyree, so he'll take 2nd.
Tyree drops back to 3rd. Chad Horde starting to work his way. He's up into 4th. Now he's on that left rear quarter panel of Tyree, but CJ Greaves goes to the inside trying to get by Jared Johnson.
Side by side coming on the hill, Greaves on the outside, trying to get the advantage. Before they get to the corner, he'll keep that outside line all the way through the corner.
Johnson does good by not running in there too hard, but by being cautious about it, he gets a face full of roofs from CJ Greaves. Watch CJ. That's a perfect downside. Everybody else clipping it just a little bit. CJ Greaves out in front. There is Johnson in 2nd. Show Horde into 3rd. Horde goes to the inside, and he's down over 2 times back on the wheels.
Chad Horde hits the inside tire barrier, and just enough to lift him up on the side.
And it looks like a little exhaust fire underneath, starting to fire it up. He wants to pull out of here. He's going again. Listen to the crowd cheering him on.
It looks like he's got right front, let's see, right front or left front damage is hard to tell, but that truck is hurt.
They're both lit up. Yeah, he's turning in.
Take a quick look at this. Here comes on the right side of the screen. He's already hooked the tire marker, I should say, and that's what launched him up over the side. He was already up on 2 wheels, and he hit that white painted tire on the inside. It was just enough to lift him up and over. Here we go, better shot of it. Right there, use it as a ramp. He may have bent the tie rod on the left side.
Oh, he bent some stuff. There's no question of it. It was one of those cases, I think he wanted to keep the left front tire right on the edge of that inner berm. And when he over-rotated, he went beyond that inner edge.
It may be a ball joint now because that thing has just dropped down now.
Or shock mount. I mean, there's no telling. The whole left front looks like it's collapsed down.
So there will be no repeat for Chad Horde.
And he was fast. I still, you know, CJ proved that he was strong. But watch Horde. He tried to get that left front on the edge, and that's where you want it. But right there, he's already crashed at that point. He's just hanging on for dear life. One rotation with a twist. And the second flip. And yeah, there's got to be some damage on there. It looks like the truck was sitting somewhat upright then, but something has collapsed in the meantime on that.
There's a great shot. He's got his window net down. He's still belted inside that truck. I see Taylor Snyder down there as well, talking to some of the crew members, but
Tony Bachhoven as well.
Kind of not working too hard or too briskly on that thing. It looks like their day may be done.
Well, there's no hurry to get out. If you know your race is done.
Well, here's the thing, though. He's a points leader. They're going to try and do something to this truck if they're able to get back on the track to at least get some points.
He's going to get 9, right? Because he completed a few laps. At least 9th. But I don't see any way that you could get drive from that left front as far as it being able to roll.
Well, here's my question. This is part of the rules that I'm not sure about. If he doesn't finish, does he still get the points for starting the race?
Yeah, I would think so. You would have to start the race, but he's going to get 9th place finish points, even if it's a DNF. I would think. And again, that's just me guessing.
That's why. Yeah,
if it's a DNS, it's one thing. If you don't make the start, but he completed a full lap, and then that happened. Actually, did he get? Oh, I'd like to thank the guys here from the crew. You want hamburger or do you want?
Sheriff brought in that mess?
The brat? Yeah,
Oh,
I'm going
yeah.
brat. In case you haven't checked out the food
stand.
concessions,
Wow.
I'm going to test out this very delicious.
French fry.
I'm a Texas boy trying to check out these brats. Is good too, but I'm looking at my sheet and we see 1 lap complete. So they do have 1 lap in the book. He was scored in 9th, so he did come across with a 1:44 lap time. So 1 full lap was complete. Well, they're lining them up, getting ready to go here, and there goes the pace truck. So now it's time to get them going again. Greaves, Johnson, Tyree, your top 3. Steve Barlow back and forth.
There's the green flag. We're back underway. We've got C.J. Greaves up front. Jarrett Johnson is second. Barlow takes a tight inside line out of the roost. He'll follow Greaves around way out the outside of turn number 1.
But he's trying to get by Nick Tyree. He might have done it. Tyree on that inside, but Barlow has, he's looking for traction, and there is got to make contact here. And right there at the last second, maybe you see the 4 starting to sneak in there as well. Jeff Kincaid, he's back there in 5th position.
You know, that's the guy we didn't mention at the beginning of the race to keep an eye on, which we should have. And I'm telling you, Artie Lydek is having problems right here on those double jump.
Oh, well, yeah, the finish line jump, he nosed in pretty strong, but you like the 4, huh, Jeff Kincaid? That might be your new sleeper, right?
No, well, we failed to mention him because he's always a favorite. He's always fast in his track.
I'm talking today, right now.
Yeah. But
Tyree holding those inside lines said, if you're going to pass me, you're going to do it the long way around the track.
And look at Kincaid, kind of like the shark in the water. Tyree goes way to the outside. Opens the door for both trucks.
Look at this. Barlow's going to be side by side as they come over this hill.
Yep.
And the cat number 2, Barlow on the outside. That's not going to look good. But watch Kincaid. What's he going to do? That's going to be the big mover because he can do something different than the other 2, and he might take over both positions.
Oh, Tyree gets a little sideways, opens the door for Kincaid on the outside. Barlow moves up 1 spot. Kincaid moves up 1 spot.
And Kincaid's going to get a good drive on Barlow.
Yeah, Tyree falls back 2.
Yep, there it is. Kincaid's going to get that drive on Barlow because he did something different than the 2 guys in front of him. Now Kincaid takes over 3rd. Again, this is before the competition caution.
Now here comes Mike Jenkins as well in that 47.
Where did he come from? I mean, now he's into the picture and he's rubbing fiberglass as well.
And look at Greaves pulling away from everybody.
Johnson still in 2nd. 3rd, the number 4 of Kincaid, followed by Barlow. But you called it and said, you know, there's one guy we really didn't mention at the top of our race, Jeff Kincaid. I think he has a shot. at least second, no matter what, because
Oh,
we're going to
yeah.
have to cover. But he might have something, because remember, he's had to work his way up through the field to get to that point.
Now think what we'd have right now if we didn't have that competition yellow. This would be a runaway by C.J. Greaves. But we've got that competition yellow. Still a chance for Kincaid and for Jared Johnson as well as Barlow. So that competition yellow really adds a lot of strategy. And here comes Kincaid. Get a great run at the top of the hill. Now charging that right-hand corner.
We know what he did the last time right in this spot. He squared it up the exact same line he's in now. If he doesn't make this pass in the first part of the left, watch coming out to that tabletop, because that's where he gets the drive. If he doesn't get the drive he wants, look for him to dive underneath, but he's getting a lot of drive on that outside.
I think there's a big blue groove in that inside line from that left-hand corner that is kind of like debilitating for the guy stuck on that inside line. So they're forced to go to the outside up on that berm.
That's called a cushion in dirt track racing, and it has moved his way. Oh, and looks like Jenkins got in too.
Yeah.
Nick Tyree there for just a moment. And Jenkins doing a donut down in the middle portion of the track, but you have Kincaid up into second. Third is now Jared Johnson as they come across and take the green flag one more time.
Fastest lap of the race, Jeff Kincaid.
Yep, you said it.
This time by, he was 1 full second faster than C.J. Greaves, but the fastest lap of the race so far is Kincaid.
123.80. C.J. Greaves at 124.82. So yes, a full second is, I'm quite sure that the spotter for C.J. Greaves saying, hey dude, back it down. Don't burn up, whether it be the tires in the blue groove or the engine. Don't put any hurt on it, because you don't get the win for leading at the competition yellow.
Yeah, it used to be where the rules had it. You got 2 points for leading at the halfway point, one point for second. So they were racing for points at the halfway. We don't have that anymore.
Right.
So it's all about the finish. And Tyree gets in the back of Ari Lyondike. Ari goes off the track a little bit, comes back on. But man, look at the handling on that Kincaid truck, that number 4, the way it dives in the corner. He comes out of the corner, accelerates, and now the back of that truck just squats down real low and
watch him.
gets all kinds of grip.
Watch him after this double. Watch your left-hand turn. Right where we saw Chad Horde go over, he's going to try and put his front in, I bet you, right there near that tire. Right at the edge. Actually, he took it a little wider this time. CJ did it that time around. It shows you the one tire width can make all the difference in the world from a guy going out there and hauling boutte or flipping over a couple of times.
Well, it looks like CJ came back in second. They lost the last lap. CJ had a full second over Kincaid this time by.
All right, I'm looking forward to the second half of this race. Next time around, quite possibly the competition caution. We'll see if he does grab for that. I see 4 laps complete, so the 5th, yep. So it's going to be a new race here in just a second. Scott Rain, and I don't know why we didn't say anything about Jeff Kincaid as he started things off before the race. Well, he started in 9th position, so he started back there, you know, in that 5th row.
And he didn't come through the pack right away. It took him 3-4 laps to get there.
Good race for, it looks like, 5th and 6th.
Tyree, Ari Lyondike, Mike Jenkins all battling for that position. And they've all made contact with each other, too.
Yeah, looks like Ari Lyondike on that far outside as we're taking a look at our leader on the video board here. One more double left, and he's going to get that competition yellow. C.J. Greaves checking out. He can relax. He took that inside berm once again. That's definitely the line, but you can't be too crossed up.
Identical lap time for C.J. Greaves as a last lap.
That's consistency, buddy.
Wow.
There's Jared Johnson coming across. See Barlow. It's like Nick Tyree. Ari Lyondike Jr. trying to hold off Mike Jenkins, and it looks like that's, oh, what happened to the 91 in the last second? He almost lost a spot, and oh!
He went way wide in that corner before the competition yellow.
Let's go down to Taylor real quick, who's with Chad Horde after that awesome double flip that he had. Hope he's all right, Taylor.
Chad, you came off from such a high yesterday with that win on the podium, and coming into this today, take me through that lap and how that roll went for you.
Well, you know, CJ got through the pack quick, and I knew I had to stay right on him, and it just total stupid move on my part. I was just too aggressive to get to the front right away with CJ and tried passing Johnson in just not a smart spot, and it bit me and it paid for it, but I know better than that. The truck's, you know, I'm fine. The truck's plenty fixable. It just, we had a good points lead coming here. I'm frustrated for the crew and sponsors and whatever else, but we'll put it back together and get it back on the top spot.
You definitely have the best seat now watching this race, but how does it feel being able to watch these guys compete? Does it give you a lot more motivation going into Crandon?
Yeah, absolutely. It's heartbreaking sitting here watching this going on, knowing you could be up at the front battling with these guys. But like I say, it was just nobody's fault but my own. Just I was impatient and tried to get to the front too quick.
Thanks a lot, Taylor, and as well as Chad Horde. One thing I noticed in that rollover and that flip is he talked about his truck was definitely flexible. You don't incur damage when the truck's flipping. It's the sudden stop. And when he landed on the wheels, that was one of the best things. He had one little moment that initiated that whole flip. But other than that, yeah, I think we're going to see him back stronger and better than ever come Crandon.
Just look at his eyes when he was talking. I mean, you could see it in his eyes. That's the emotion I like out of Chad Horde. He's got a little bit more driven than he was when he started the season. I guarantee you that.
What do they say? The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. That was the ABC Wild World of Sports thing. He had that. He had the one in. He had the thrill of victory yesterday, and then that defeated look on him just then going, man, I should be out there, and I made the mistake. I pushed a little too hard, and it's good to see him take ownership for it.
I'm noticing a pace lap much slower than we're used to seeing.
Why?
That's why I'm kind of wondering. Little different, kind of changing up things maybe?
I don't know. Sometimes you'll do that if somebody's trying to catch up, but I don't know. I think it loads up the motors sometimes. Yeah. You pop her into neutral and clean her out a little bit. All right, CJ Greaves out in front of Jeff Kincaid. We'll see the second half of this Pro two-wheel drive race as the green flag is out.
Here they come into turn one. Greaves gets a nice jump.
Yeah, he does.
About 4 or 5 truck lengths in front of Kincaid. Jared Johnson right there in the back bumper of Jeff Kincaid. So, they're 3 wide through one. Once again, the 3 amigos are going at it.
Nick Tyree getting the bat into that deal. Ari Leindyke Jr. moving up into 5th. But the 4 of Jeff Kincaid, he's got to lean on it if he's going to catch CJ Greaves here today. He wants a win.
So at one point they were 3 wide. Ari Leindyke, Mike Jenkins, and Nick Tyree, they were 3 wide. And Nick Tyree now has come up on the short end of it as he's falls back, loses 2 spots. So Ari Leindyke moves up 1, 2, I should say. Mike Jenkins moves up 1, and Nick Tyree loses 2.
We're looking at Ari Leindyke, and remember, this is a guy who raced IndyCar and Indy Lights. He's racing Indianapolis 500. He's not the Ari Leindyke with the record at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the fastest lap. That is his father, but a fine racing family, and a lot of people know him from The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. He was one of the guys being chosen. He finished runner-up in that race. I don't know that that's not a bad thing, though, for Ari, but the ladies still love him. I've seen evidence before he was ever on The Bachelor. Look at this, though. I do think that Jeff Kincaid has something for CJ Greaves, but CJ's going to have to make a mistake. But golly, when you're the number 4 and you're behind all of that 33 roost, that's got to be horrible.
It's got to go somewhere. It's all going in the window.
Your face, yeah, because they don't have windshields in the front, because that would just be bad. So it has to, at worst, hit your visor. And if you've ever been pelted with dirt and rocks coming at you at 100 miles an hour, it is unbelievable.
Wow, the lap times 1:23.2, 1:23 flat for Jeff Kincaid.
So he's holding his own, very consistent there as well, but almost into that 122 range. That would be something special if we can get down to the 122s, and we may see it. He was only 5 1/1000ths from being able to do so.
As long as the track, there's certain areas that needs to dry out a little bit, areas that needs to stay the same, and there's nothing you can do about the blue groove.
He is all over him right here. Ooh, little crooked. Kincaid, that is, in the 4.
Well, the thing is, he's trying to rattle CJ or run right up against him, let him know that he's there.
Here's that line.
Yeah, nice different line.
Look at that.
And opened up. Oh, Jeff Kincaid shot him a cannon, but Greaves slyly shut that door.
Kincaid's getting a good drive, though. That was the place he made the pass, and he might get it here. Look at him taking over the lead. And there's a face full of dirt for CJ Greaves.
He did it in the air. How impressive is that? He set that pass up about 3 corners before it took place.
Yeah, 2 turns. He had already set up Nuke, because that's where he's made those passes, is on that outside, and he was able to dive to the inside, much like he made that pass for third earlier. CJ's not going to give up, though. He's going to try and get back into his bed, back into that truck, and charge back in front. CJ Green's been out front almost every race and has yet to win this weekend. Jared Johnson, Steve Barlow. There's Ari Leindyke, the 47 of Mike Jenkins.
Jared Johnson's probably having his best run of his career. Not just of the year, but of his career right now, running in that 3rd spot.
Yeah, his best finish this year was a 5th place back in Charlotte, number 2.
Man, how happy would his dad, Gary, be? Happy Father's Day to Gary if that kid of yours could pull off a podium spot here today.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Happy Father's Day again for those around the world and here at Bark River.
It almost seems like CJ makes up a lot of ground on our leader by outbreaking him in the corners.
Well, let's see if CJ learns anything.
Talk about close to being over-rotated. Wow.
That was a case of you're out in front. You don't have anything to go off of. I think he got into the slippery stuff. I was going to say, see if CJ learned anything because he saw the line that passed him, and maybe he did. Maybe he tries and takes that line the next time. CJ's all up in his business, though. We're only got a couple more laps to go. 2 laps, I believe, that when they come across the flagger stand. And look, 122.8 for Kincaid that last lap.
Greaves a little quicker on that last lap, obviously right there in that back bumper, Kincaid. Man, the fast lap of the race so far, 122.8 for Jeff Kincaid. Now look at the big horsepower straightaway, Kincaid pulls away. And look at how they are full lock to the right, it looks like, trying to come around that cemetery turn.
I can't believe he would have more horsepower than that Toyota of CJ Greaves, because that thing just always sounds like it's purring.
Now watch Greaves make up all that ground coming to that right-hand corner right here. Outbreaks Kincaid and just slides right up to the back bumper.
Watch Kincaid. Does he take that outside line that was fast for him? It's different when you're leading.
They take the same line through that corner up the left-hand turn.
I hated seeing that. Ooh. I hated seeing the follow the leader there. I think that's going to hurt CJ a little bit.
White flag is coming out this time around.
Just 2 turns remaining. They will take the white sheet. That's signifying 1 more lap to go. It's Jeff Kincaid just about 2.5 car lengths ahead of CJ Greaves, Jared Johnson, and Steve Barlow battling it out for 3rd. Barlow has moved into 3rd, but it's the last lap for our leaders. Can CJ Greaves turn it up a notch? This is his last opportunity to do so. Only about 1 minute and 15 seconds left in his race.
Kincaid down to that high-speed left-hand corner area. Through the cemetery turn. I'm amazed that they're able to control these trucks. Full lock to the right, sliding to that corner. Kincaid now coming to that blue groove dogleg area set up for the Cooper Tire Hill. Here they come to the right.
A lot of rubber being laid down on that straightaway.
Greaves at 175 feet coming down the Cooper Tire Hill.
CJ got a pretty good run right there. All right, if you're the leader, you typically take the inside, make them go the long way around. But it looks like Greaves again going to stay in that same inside line. And I don't know how you can make the pass there. It takes him, it drifts him out, but that is not how Kincaid moved into the lead each time. He's only got 3 more turns. CJ trying to cut corners where he can. Look at this, to the inside.
Not quite close enough. Still don't think he's close enough to make a corner pass. No, ain't gonna happen. The man we missed talking about at the start of this race is the one that will take the win. Ladies and gentlemen, the track is number 4. Jeff Kincaid will take the win. CJ Greaves 2nd, and it looks like Barlow and that cat, heavy equipment number 2, will take 3rd. 1 more corner. Barlow will take 3rd, and I believe a career best for Jared Johnson in the Husqvarna, number 74. Mike Jenkins will come around the line in 5th. 6th will be Ari Lyondike. 7th, Nick Tyree. And Justin Keener coming around here as well. And all we can think of right now is what if? What if Chad Horde was still in this?
Right.
How different things it could have been.
It would have been, and I think that upsets Chad Horde's stomach more than anything, knowing that he was that fast. He could have been in there, but he pushed it, and you see it in racing all the time. You let your emotions get to you, especially early on in a race, and that looked to be the case where if I would have just waited, bided my time, I might have had something for the end.
And the thing is, he's known for his patience. That's the whole thing. And, Chad Horde's known for his patience. And that's what he suffered from in that race, was not having enough of it. So he learned from it, no doubt about it. He's put it in his notebook, and we're going to see a little bit different Chad Horde for Crandon, I'm quite sure.
Yeah, no, he took the win yesterday. You're feeling that vibe. I can do no wrong. I can make something. I've turned more laps here than anybody. It's my backyard. But sometimes that can bite you. Overconfidence can do that to you. I think it was just one mistake. It was a simple cause, and we'll look at it in replay here after a while. A simple mistake of a little over rotation, but when you're set up for that inside line where you need one tire on that inner berm and you're over rotated, it's bad news if you make contact with those tires, and that was the case. We'll be back with the podium of the Pro 2. We'll talk to the drivers as they come out here in just a moment.
We had these torrential downpours, and these trucks are not designed to have another 2,000 pounds of mud put on them, and then you pack the radiators tight. The tranny gauge, the water gauge, the oil gauge, everything's pegged. The Amsoil product came through for us and kept the rear end, the transmission, and the engine all running fine. And I tell you what, we were ready to go for the next day and pretty proud of it.
The fastest name in radio control.
race fans on the racetrack right now. We got the kart kids out here in the first time, actually the second points race of the season. First time ever here at Bark River. Out on the track right now, we've got a great battle going on for the lead. That's the 77 of Carter Vandenheuvel, and I believe that's Van Eperen. Am I right, Dan? I can't quite see the numbers down there.
Easton Sleeper's number.
On the 45.
Right in front of Carter.
Oh, so we had a pass for the lead. So now we've got, let's see, the 70.
Is the black and green truck the one
Oh,
in the
it's
lead?
Easton Sleeper. There we go. Number 13. And Carter comes right back to the inside.
77 making a pass on the
nice
inside.
pass, yeah.
Back in third.
Carter's
the
back up front. Jason Folkman right now running in third in that blue striped cart.
29 in fourth, it looks like.
And that's Gage Garvin in that black cart running in the fourth spot. This is about a two-year program going on to get these things on the cart or on the track. So we've got ages 6 to 12. While that's going on, we also got Taylor Snyder at the podium with our top 3 finishers in Pro 2. Taylor?
Thanks, Scott. I'm going to start with our third place finisher, Steve Barlow. Steve, I talked to you down there right before the race started. Of course, your voice is sort of going. You're coming off with sick, but the biggest issue for you today was the dust. Luckily, you were able to overcome that and make it up here. So congratulations.
Yeah, with what I have, wind blowing and everything has made it, a little worse. But I feel great. I just can't talk as much.
Well, you don't need to talk, luckily, out there to make it up here. It's all about your driving talent, and obviously you proved that you're still one of the top contenders out here.
Yeah, I know. My family likes it this way when I can't talk too much. So.
All right. Well, do you want to thank your family for helping you?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all my family, my crew, everybody that comes out here and supports us, Caterpillar, Drive Capital, Outdoor Energy, Maxxis Tires, these guys. We couldn't do it without them. And, again, Caterpillar, thanks for stepping on this year and picking me up and let me have a chance to be up here.
All right. Well, big congratulations. Everyone give it up for him. Moving on to our second place finisher, CJ Greaves. CJ, I just saw you up here. Nice to talk to you again. But CJ, take me through that race a little bit. How was that track out there for you?
The track's actually pretty good. The crew did a great job and kept this track great for us. But we had a fast truck, but we couldn't risk making a mistake or crashing or getting a flat tire. Chad had an accident early on, and my crew let me know, and they said, we can't afford anything else. We had a DNF at the beginning of the year, so we just played it step by step, and he started pressuring us, and he made a great move on the inside, so I laid back a little bit and started picking up some lines and was going to give him a shot, but this should give us the points lead, so we're just going to keep taking it race by race and hopefully come out on top.
And now you race Jeff's son, Keegan. How is it also racing now the father of Keegan, racing both father and son?
Everyone's a race competitor to me. I mean, if it's family or not, once you're on the track, it's all racing. But I can't give it up for my crew, Devin, my mom, dad, my sister, the Lord for keeping me safe, all you fans, friends that come out to support us, Monster, Toyota, Maxxis, Method Wheels, AMSOIL, Forest County, Potawatomi, everyone that helps us out. Thanks.
All right, give it up for CJ Greaves with that second place finish. And moving up to our winner here today, Jeff Kincaid. What a Father's Day present for you. Not only did your son come home with the win in Pro Light, but you pulled off the win today here. That's got to just feel great for you.
Yeah, we had two runs going yesterday too, and we just couldn't get her done. But you know what? He went out, my boy went out and won, and where does that leave me? He always tells me, Dad, your old stuff, but here we are. What a great Father's Day present. Him winning, we winning. Can't say enough for Traxxas. And, we have Cooper tires on there, which has just been great for us. They've been working really good with us, Fox shocks. And, to be up here again, I'm debating between retiring or racing. And these moments make me want to keep going. And I enjoy being here, and we'll see how it happens. It's been good racing.
I think the fans would like to see him continue. What do you guys think? Retirement or no? Yeah, I think the fans won't let you retire that quick. That's it.
Yeah, I hope not. It sucks getting old, but it's part of life. And be up here in the winter circle is great. Can't say enough for my crew, family. They helped me. We took on a big task this year with Traxxas, and their program's stepping up, and maybe we can get 3 in a row. So that's what we're hoping for. Thank you.
All right, well, it's clear age doesn't matter up here. It's all about driving talent. So give it up for all of our Pro 2 podium finishers, Steve Barlow, CJ Greaves, and Jeff Kincaid.
So as the guys release the champagne, unleash the dragon, release the Kraken, releasing that champagne, getting ready for the Pro 4. They're doing some track prep out there. You see the fans. You see the birds trying to sneak in for a little spray as well. Barlow sneaking in there into that third spot, taking the pass with about a lap and a half left. What a race. Another good one here in the Pro 2. You saw CJ just say that he couldn't take that chance that Chad Horde did. Taking chances was Jeff Kincaid. He worked his way up from that 5th row into the win and just plucked them off one at a time. And he found a little something on that outside, that left-hand big sweeper right before the flag stand, the starting flag stand. Found a little something, made a couple of passes on some of our top competitors right there, and really seemed to make the difference for him. Some cool conditions here in Michigan in the upper 50s. The birds are in the air, the cat equipment's down on the track, and we still have one more race to go, the Pro 4s. We had the Little Groms just finish up. We might see them in just a bit, but a lot of stuff going down here in the Upper Peninsula. It's the throwdown in the UP from Bark River, Michigan at Bark River International Raceway, and we'll be back right after this.
When adventure calls, count on the Trail Grappler to get you to your destination, wherever that may be. Large, innovative tread blocks provide additional biting edges to help you command the most challenging terrains as you discover new trails. The Trail Grappler's 3-ply sidewall and thick rubber construction aids puncture resistance and provides durability when you need it most. Nitto Trail Grappler, where road meets trail.
What is it that makes a Husqvarna dealer a Husqvarna dealer? Well, just look close at the engineering in our outdoor power equipment. We're known for high performance and reliability in everything we make. So is it any wonder your Husqvarna dealer is also known for high performance and reliability in everything they do? With a nationwide network of Husqvarna dealers, there's one just around the corner.
We'll see. We'll see. They don't have a camera either. Welcome back to Bark River, Michigan, the sixth stop of TORC the Off-Road Championship. We had round 5 yesterday. Today's round 6. We are 2/3 of our way through the pro competition. We had a few sportsman classes earlier. We just had the kids in the kart class just come off the track. We're going to try and get them for the web and then let the rest of the world in on it as well here in just a moment, maybe even the TV cameras. Again, this event going to be televised on the NBC Sports Network. Tess Sewell and Ricky Johnson making the call. Ricky in for Grant Langston, who was covered a motocross race this week. Tony Bachhoven. I have not seen Christy Lee today, but I know Tony is here. And there's some of the little guys, 6 to 12 years of age. I've got a 9 and a 6-year-old. I might have to bring them up here next year, and maybe I can rent a ride and see if they can do good on the dirt. They race go-karts on asphalt. But look at the kids, everybody around the world. These are some of the future stars possibly of tomorrow. They're actual stars of today, just a little bit younger.
Well, how about this race? We are top 3 finishers. In fact, we have our entire field up here at the podium of our karts, short course karts kids, and I'm going to kind of skip by you guys, get you a little bit, but I'm going to run over here by the 3rd place finisher. And Zachary, you're going to correct me on this, all right, because I'm going to screw it up for sure. Zachary or Hanowitz? We're Hanowitz? All right, you don't look too happy for finishing up on the podium and having a big trophy. Here, smile. Your 2nd race, how about that? Did you have fun out there?
Yeah.
You want to do it again?
Yeah.
Is it really that fun?
Yeah.
This is a part of short course karts that really is the hardest part. Do you work on your kart?
Kind of.
What do you mean kind of? Do you or don't you?
Yes.
Are you gonna give that to your dad for Father's Day? Your first trophy ever?
Yeah.
I just gave you the idea, right, didn't I?
Yes.
Congratulations, man. Nice job. Hopefully we'll see you at Crandon up here again, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Zach. All right. Oh, another one. Paige. Your brother or sister? We're Hanowitz? Okay, Paige, just pretty happy for you. You took on the guys out there and kind of showed them how to do it, huh?
Yeah.
You want to do this again?
Yeah.
Do you work on your kart?
Not really.
Do you at least like keep it clean and wipe it down maybe?
Yeah.
Will you like maybe start working on it now to make it quicker?
I don't know.
Do you tell your dad what to do?
No.
This is not easy. You getting excited for Crandon?
Yeah.
Gonna go for the win?
Yeah.
Here's your trophy. Is there anybody you want to thank?
I would like to thank my dad for all his hard work and for his work for sponsoring me.
You gonna give that to your dad for Father's Day?
I don't know.
Ah, she doesn't know. Congratulations, Paige. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right, now we got the little guy over here, Owen. Come here, man. I'm gonna sit right here. No, your dad used to be a big-time racer, right? Yeah. All right. You raced motocross, and then he ran Pro Light for a while. Do you remember when he was in Pro Light?
Yep.
So now you're the big racer, right?
Yep.
This is your first race they ever won in anything?
No.
Is that a big trophy for you, though?
No.
No, this is a little trophy, huh? You want a bigger one?
Yeah.
You're gonna give this to your dad for Father's Day?
No.
So, what do you actually work in your car or no?
No.
So your dad does all the work?
Yep.
What do you do?
Sometimes clean it.
That's about it. Video games?
Yeah.
Does he make you cut the grass?
No.
Do you have to get like good grades?
No.
No. Well, you know what, Owen? Congratulations, man. You're the first winner here on the Bark River weekend of the short course karts. You've just made history in the TORC series. Congratulations, Owen.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Owen Van Epperen, our winner. And you know what? Let's hear for all of our kart kids. All of them up here, they are all history makers, as this is the first points race of the short course karts. Look at our entire field. This is the future of our sport.
And the future's now for those little guys and girls. Scott, you got to work on those one question answers. Yes, no. The always way you get them is ask them if they got a boyfriend or girlfriend, and then they start getting really nervous right about then. But big trophy like that, you pick up more ladies, I'll put it that way. Those of you who might have registered to win a Slash Ford Raptor over there at the Traxxas display, I found out we have a winner. So if you signed up and you wanted to register to win a Slash Ford Raptor, one of the Traxxas RC cars, go over there and pick it up if your name is Candace Yell. Candace, C-A-N-D-A-C-E, Yell. Candace, I want to hear you yell if that's you. And you go over there to the Traxxas display and pick up your brand new Slash Ford Raptor. You won. It's that easy here at TORC, the Off-Road Championship. So we'll be back in just a moment. I think we're going to look back at what happened in that Pro 2 right after this as they finish up track preparation, getting ready for the Pro 4 here in just a moment. So we'll be back here at Bark River right after this.
Once again, welcome back, everybody, here to the Bark River, Michigan, and the throwdown in the UP. UP stands for Upper Peninsula. We are that far north. We're right above Lake Michigan, right below Lake Superior, so we're like stuck between water. And from what I hear, when we got back, what was it? We got here Thursday, Friday. People were telling us that there's still 17% of Lake Michigan has ice on it.
It's thawed now. It had to have thawed.
No.
By now. I heard it was like one of the longest in a long time, though, that there actually was ice. And you were telling me some story about how they have a truck out here and they have like a raffle that whenever that truck falls into the lake, then, then that's when the raffle's done. All right, let's take a look at Pro 2 as
Jared Johnson pulled a whole shot right off the get-go just a moment ago. And CJ Greaves, here he comes.
Yeah, he was fast. He was my pick, but Chad Horton was fast. A little bit too fast at that point in time. Got on that inside, got on 2 wheels, and he got on no wheels, but 2 full flips with a twist, and his day was done in Pro 2.
He's got to hurt the points leader. And now Steve Barlow, keep in mind, he was in the hospital 2 days ago with bronchitis, and here he is battling for a podium spot.
Yeah, the way you can get over feeling bad is to make yourself feel good in that podium. Like you said, he finishes in 3rd after a long battle and finally moving into 3rd at the last second, getting by Jared Johnson. But the race up front, it was a tight one. CJ Greaves was out in front until this happened.
And ironically enough, we talked about a few drivers who our choices were for this race. And the one we failed to mention was this guy right here, Jeff Kincaid, and he came back with a top spot. Kind of passed CJ a little bit on the easy side. There was no contact, nice and smooth, nice and easy, very courteous. And from this point on, it was all Jeff Kincaid.
He found a better line, not that line he took right there, the inside. He went outside and found something. He made it happen, took the checker flag, and the victory. You see how stoked he was, and it kind of looks like a little mini truck right there. You saw his version, or the 7 actually, on his rooftop. But yeah, Traxxas truck takes the Pro 2 here, and another non-win for CJ this week. He's been super consistent, top 3 in every one of them. He just wasn't able to get that victory.
And that grease shop is so used to victories. It's kind of oh, there's the points right now. Chad didn't lose as much as I thought he would.
Yeah, 13 points is that was actually coming in. No, that was coming into here. That was the points coming into this event, not on the back end. So that's what it looked like coming into here. And as we're toggling through, now we look at his dad, Johnny Greaves. He's got a considerable advantage, a 16-point lead over Avery and Chinny. That's what we're setting up to here at our 3rd and final race of the afternoon. Chinny, I don't know. He didn't look quite like himself yesterday early on.
Well, keep in mind, he was also spent time, I think he went to the clinic in town, and he had some symptoms of some things, and he's not 100% physically right now.
Well, you say that physically, and you always tell me he's not 100% mentally. So
I wasn't going in that direction.
Let's take a look at yesterday. You see Chinny in that orange truck, but out in front, it's the Traxxas entry, the 4.7 of Mike Jenkins.
Yeah, I mean, he's showing flashes of being very, very fast. And he's right on that fine line of being just aggressive enough to work his way to the front. There's one thing left on that, one step left on that ladder, and that's the top spot in the podium. And that's the one thing he's just fallen shy of. He's got flashes of speed. He just needs to get that top spot.
The guy without many problems this year has been Johnny Greaves. Mark Jenkins was out in front until Johnny made that awesome move. Yeah. I think that was the pass of the week. How he found that grip on the outside over there at the cemetery turn and took the lead going into the halfway point.
He had that planned right, but like we say, 2-3 turns before he got there. And then we have a restart at the halfway point. Scott Douglas struggled a little bit at the midway point, trying to get through traffic, working his way towards the front.
He's on the outside in that portion. Johnny, no problem. You see him looking for that cushion all the way up into that berm. And that's not a berm. We were going to call that a wall around that far outside, but he found the grip after he took the lead and really pretty much checked out of this one.
It wasn't as close as it appears here in the video. Johnny pretty much had it in hand.
Mark Jenkins finishing second, Adrian Chinny in third. As the Pro 4s are now starting to work their way on the track. Let's quickly go down to Taylor.
With four-wheel drive, these drivers can put their trucks pretty much anywhere on the track out here and gain traction. But as we've seen earlier today, this track is fast and technical. And the big key to racing here today is patience. These guys can plan their lines all day long with data sessions, but when it comes to racing out here, they may need to make moves on the fly. And these guys have just the talent to make it out there and make those last-minute necessary passes to get on that podium.
Thanks, Taylor, as they line up this final time. 7 guys looking for the 1 spot. And we work our way through the field. Looks like Ross Hook going to start in 7th on the Nitto Tire ADT transmission Toyota out of Holland, Michigan.
Right in front of them, a full row. We got Johnny Greaves out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, over that Monster Energy Maxxis Tire Toyota, number 22. Right next to him, man, these guys make contact, racing and race out every single weekend from Plano, Texas, driving the Cooper Tire Traxxas Ford, the number 25 of Mark Jenkins.
Adrian Chinny in the 11. He finished 3rd yesterday. He's trying to bump that a couple of notches. He's driving the Outdoor Energy 4-wheel parts Bites Beef Snack Ford. He will start in 4th. In 3rd, Mike Jenkins out of Plano, Texas, the number 47 entry on the Cooper Tires Traxxas Amsoil Fox Shocks Ram. He will start in 3rd.
And I'm thinking this guy's drooling right now. He's got on the front row out of El Cajon, California, and Bondwell, Wisconsin. He's driving the Toyota Tire Amsoil Boral Exhaust, number 7 Ford of Scott Douglas. Alongside him, out of Columbus, Ohio, the Maxxis Popcorn Suttons Tennessee White Whiskey Realtree Outdoor Energy Drink, number 5 Mark Kwame.
So this is it, our last pro race of the day. We race to the competition yellow, the halfway mark of the 5. The pace truck pulls off. Let's find out who's going to get that hole shot. Will it be Kwame? Will it be Douglas? Who's going to get it in the final race? Here we go, Bark River.
On bumper to bumper, green flag is on. Here they come to turn number 1. Kwame opens up the inside. Here comes Mike Jenkins from row number 2. And man, oh man, I thought Scott Douglas would be in the middle of it, but he's being shuffled back to maybe 4th place.
Douglas trying to hold on to 2nd, maybe 3rd, and Chinny back there in 5th. But that was a hole shot. Don't give me that inside, or I think Jenkins saying, I'm going to take it.
That was a sweet move by Mike Jenkins. The door opened to the gates, and he rolled right through the middle of it.
Mark in 2nd, Douglas 3rd, Chinny 4th, Kwame 5th, 6th is Greaves, and Hook in 7th.
3 wide down the backstretch. Johnny Greaves way to the outside.
That means Adrian Chinny's on the inside behind these 2. Look at the battle.
Wow, the dust back there somewhere. There's Johnny Greaves on the outside. Meanwhile, up front, it's the brother battle.
I will say that we saw him barely see him in that dirt. That was the one he wanted to come inside like he did yesterday.
Here they come towards Cooper Tire Hill. Mike Jenkins still has the point. Mark Jenkins in 2nd. Scott Douglas has worked his way up the Thorn. And somehow, through all that dust in the back section, Johnny Greaves now in the top 4.
2 brothers, any brotherly love here on Father's Day?
Sweet move by Mark Jenkins to enter the corner on the outside, exiting on the inside. We talked about that move all weekend long, and once again, Mark Jenkins makes it work, but Mike is not going anywhere. How about this? Coming right back to the inside.
Now Mike on the 47. Again, they're both Jenkins, but Mark trying to do what he can, and it looks like the 25 is going to come out in front again. It is Mark Jenkins in the lead.
Johnny Greaves, I was going to say, is being so patient right now.
I think he's looking at them one at a time. Let me just think about it one at a time as he closes on the 7 of Scott Douglas. Let's watch him if they follow him on this line. We know he likes to set up on that real wide line and then dive to the inside. Let's see if he does it this time.
And he is so much. Oh, Douglas, somehow. Wow.
Dirt track, baby.
He was beyond halfway at 90 degrees, and Douglas somehow saves it, but scrubs off a ton of speed. Did Johnny get around? No, he didn't.
No, but he got a lot of drive there. I think he's setting it up lap after lap in that spot. You can't get any closer.
But there's a lot of communication going on right now. I should say a lot of talking by the spotters, a lot of listening by the drivers right now. Man, Douglas is just throwing that truck sideways in these corners, right on the verge of just going all the way around. There's Johnny going inside. A little love tap to that right rear.
He's trying to ride up on the top end of that grass with that left front, just trying to look for something without having to cut the track, but still able to hold him off is Scott Douglas. Still Mark Jenkins, the 25, tracks his truck in front of his brother, the 47 of Mike Jenkins.
Man, look at Greaves trying to find a hole, and there it might be. He rotates hard in the corner, swaps it, loses the opportunity he may have had right there at that spot. But I know that Jason Champers, the crew chief for Scott Douglas, is doing a lot of talking right now to Douglas, letting him know exactly where Greaves is.
He's all over him. That's where he is.
Yeah.
He can see where he is now. Look out your window, Ned. Here comes Johnny Greaves on the inside. Both of them look like sprint cars.
Driver inside, driver inside. That's what Scott Douglas is hearing right now. Driver inside. Johnny looks like he may have to burp the throttle a little bit, kind of fall back a little bit, get a breather, and then I'll make another run at it.
A lot of dust on that Cooper tire.
Meanwhile, up front, Mark Jenkins has pulled away from Mike about 15 truck lengths or so.
But we will reset in a few more laps, so we still have not made it to our competition caution. We're seeing races throughout the field, and I promise you Johnny Greaves is going to want to try and get back up in there to at least third. Scott Douglas is trying to catch up to second. The only guy that could maybe backing off a tad would be Mark Jenkins out in front.
I'm noticing something that we haven't seen all weekend long. There's no saving their trucks right now. They are racing, 100% racing. They're not saving it for the halfway point. These boys are on it.
It's the last race of the weekend. You have some time to repair things.
Here comes Jenny. Jenny goes by Greaves.
Something's
right
wrong.
front flat tire. Right front flat tire on Johnny Greaves. And I'll bet you it's from
contact,
contact
right?
back by the cemetery turn.
Yep, that's why he was losing a little ground earlier. So he's got to get that changed and hopefully come back after that competition yellow. The track crew or his crew's got to be working hard to try and keep him on that lead lap up there at the top of the track.
And I'm going to guess he's going to duck into the hot pits right away.
But he's losing time right now, so the leader's going to be pulled away. He does not want to be lapped because there's still going to be time. I mean, if he gets lapped, he's done.
Yeah.
And he's got to make this entire lap with one tire, totally deflated. I don't know how he's going that fast.
You know what? He might. Once you start seeing smoke, the sidewall's starting to separate. Once that sidewall is gone, your day is done. You're on your wheels. But if he can save that tire right now, he may go all the way around until right before the competition yellow.
No, I don't know. Yep, he's still out there.
He'll go into the pits on the competition yellow.
Well, if he's got a tire on the rim, he's getting to see it one more time.
He'll duck into the pits next time by, right before the competition yellow. But like you said, all he has to do is get back on the track in front of the leader.
Yep. Oh, man, he's fighting. He doesn't want to throw that tire off. He doesn't want to be a plow.
That's the worst tire on all four corners to have go down to that right front because this track is predominantly left-hand corners.
Yeah, especially the downhills. That you put the more weight on that front. Uphill, you try and stay on the throttle and take off.
So now we'll watch the flag man. Is he going to reach for the yellow and red?
Yeah, I think he gave him one just a moment ago. So yes,
Yep, it looks like the comp yellows are coming out this time by. So right now, when Johnny gets to the top of the hill, he'll duck into the hot pitch at this point, this time by.
They're going to be humping it to get that truck out there, I'm telling you.
It can be done.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying they're going to be humping it.
But
I'm also seeing, because they do get the full lap of the, in the competition, they don't do the shortcut for that. They do get the full lap.
Yeah, Johnny's on it a little bit more. Man, that sidewall, that Max's tire is holding together a lot longer than I thought it would.
Oh, a lot of smoke.
Now, keep in mind, they run an inner liner. There's an inner liner inside that truck.
Speaking of Adrian Chinney back and forth place trying to get inner window net.
And there goes Grease into the hot pits. Competition yellow is waving. Mark Jenkins takes a comp yellow. Mike Jenkins, Scott Douglas, Adrian Chinney, and Johnny Greaves is in the hot pits.
What's going to help him is the 10 of Ross Hook and them being back a considerable distance, and Mark Kwame. With them being back, that gives him a chance because they have yet to take that competition yellow. So the field's still going to have to pack up as far as those guys are concerned. All right, we're going to step back. You see them trying to lift it up. We're going to go to break here in just a moment and find out the story right after this.
Ready. Drive.
And Johnny Greaves up on 2 wheels.
Fly. Dominate. Celebrate. MagnaFlow.
What is Monster? It's killing tires on the ultimate Gymkhana course. Time can block, and I am Monster.
Welcome back. Here is the Pro Fours making their way around. One guy has yet to take that competition yellow, and that's Johnny Greaves. You can hear him on the throttle in the background because these guys are lined up. They're setting up for that Cooper Tire hill jump there, and they're missing one of their compatriots, but it won't be long because he is on the throttle trying to catch up.
Yeah, there's a little rabbit that's ripping around this racetrack right now, and that's Johnny Greaves. His crew got that left front tire
that's where
changed.
it happened right there, too.
Yeah, they got that tire changed, and now Johnny.
We knew that right hand, that left hand turn when he got that right front tire into, who was that, Scott Douglas earlier, right? When he got into Douglas, I think that must have been, and he might have had a slow leak in a slow leak. Once he was losing a little ground, you had to think that was the case. And
Talk about it couldn't have gone any longer. Look where he caught up to him about, what, 200 yards before the green flag.
Watch it. I think he's even deep staging a little bit, going to stay back and try and get a run here.
That's Greaves, man.
I would have.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to take the green flag for the last race of 2014, the spring run here at Bark River. Everybody, who thinks Johnny Greaves can pull it off?
Johnny was trying to deep stage.
Into turn one, it's Mark Jenkins, Mike Jenkins, Scott Douglas, Adrian Chinney, Ross Hook, Mark Kwame, and Johnny Greaves in the back.
Scott Douglas nosing in there. Look at Adrian Chinney back in third. Adrian's on the inside. He takes over third down.
And Douglas had to give it to him, man. He's usually a fighter, but he actually took the spot.
He's still fighting. What are you talking about? Going up that hill, look at him trying to stick a nose on the inside. Just nothing there.
Wow, I'm surprised Greaves hasn't gotten around Ross Hook yet. He's still in the back.
Mark Jenkins, the leader.
Look at the blue group forming. These guys are way up against the railing. Let's take a look at this. We think we found the spot where Johnny Greaves had the tire issue and what caused his flat tire, so here it is.
Okay, let's look at the right front. He nosed it in there. Sideways. I don't know.
I think the tire may have already been flat there.
I think it was really the contact with Scott Douglas, and he might have had a little bit of air loss, and you lose a little bit time after time because it did compress a bunch, but it shouldn't have been anything that you would have thought cut it or knocked it off the bead.
Well, the way the sidewall was popping that white fluff.
Yeah, I think it was already there.
Yeah.
Look at this race, though, for second. Mike Jenkins trying to hold off Adrian Cheney. Cheney's going to settle on the outside. Watch, it's where he made the pass a lap ago. Look at Cheney trying to dive to the inside. Will he make it?
Yeah, I think he has, because, oh, no, he hasn't. How about Mike Jenkins hanging on? The suspension of that truck was a little bit upset coming with that double jump, and somehow stayed on the throttle and pulled it out and maintained that spot, but we lost Ross Hook. Ross Hook is pulled off the track somewhere, probably in the backside, so Ross Hook has dropped out.
One thing we got to mention that Johnny Greaves back there struggling in 5th spot. He's the points leader. He may actually, even though he had, what,
was it 13, I think?
Yeah, 16-point advantage. I think he had a 16-point advantage. He may be close to losing that points lead. That was over Adrian Cheney, who's not doing too well either. Cheney's back in 3rd.
Tell you, Mark Jenkins looking very, very strong. Well, both the Jenkins are right now.
Right. So we have both Mark and Mike with 92 points tied for 3rd. So they're helping out there in championship point standings. This is the second half of the race. It's racing to the checker flag here. Competition yellow is done. Mark Jenkins leads Mike Jenkins by about a second and a half, 2 seconds. Adrian Cheney over-rotates just a little bit, has Scott Douglas right behind him. Johnny Greaves trying to claw back for that flat tire, back in 5th.
I'm thinking Johnny Greaves has got other issues besides just that flat tire. He's definitely up to speed.
You may be right. And it's a guy we didn't see practice this morning, you said as well, right? So no time to shake down the truck.
And the 2 Jenkins brothers, the only 2 trucks out there to break the 122 and get into the 122 bracket. So they're the 2 fastest trucks, at least on that last lap.
So Ross Hook is going now again. We saw him come across, but something must have happened on that backside, right? Because
yeah, he's 1 lap down.
So must have lost fire somehow, or he went over the top and had a tire change that we could not see.
Now Mark Jenkins pulling away a little bit. Adrian Cheney making a run at Mike Jenkins. Oh, man, how did he stay off that wall? Adrian Cheney had that truck sideways, rolling about 60, 70 yards, pitched sideways from the corner.
I watched the line that time of Johnny Greaves back there in 5th. Took something. I mean, he set up for that right-hander that you were looking at. It looks like Cheney, we're hearing, maybe losing a tire.
Right rear.
Right rear's
Cheney's
gone.
tire's gone. No sidewall at all. That thing is shredded.
And remember, he's second in points. How long can he hold out? What, we have 2 more laps after this one? Yep.
Yeah, Cheney's got no choice but to stay out.
Don't get near that shredded tire. It's shrapnel.
Man, I wonder what that happened, because I don't remember seeing him making a whole lot of contact with anyone. But he's so aggressive, that right rear may have just like ripped it off. Douglas still struggling to try to get on Cheney. Cheney up against that berm. And Douglas right in the middle of that blue groove.
How is he going that fast with 3 tires?
Wild man.
You're all good till you turn that thing into a plow.
So that puts now Scott Douglas in that 3rd spot. Here comes Greaves now. Greaves, that truck just isn't there. It's not, I don't even know if it's 75%.
That was a nice turn, though. That's what he did before and really squared it up and over to the inside. He was able to get by Cheney. I have to think he's going to try and do it the next time around when they get the white flag on Douglas. But so far, this has been the Mark Jenkins show in this race, the Pro 4-wheel drive. Mike, his brother, back in 2nd. Scott Douglas in 3rd. Johnny Greaves in 4th. The white flag is coming out.
White flag is waving. Mark Jenkins, Mike Jenkins, Scott Douglas, Johnny Greaves. Man, Mike Jenkins is getting fast as the race goes on. He's the only driver last time around the 1:21 second mark. So
and he finished 2nd yesterday, and I think you look at my stats thing, looking at, has he won this year? Not yet.
Yeah.
He's about to. He's about a half a lap away from being able to do that.
I wish him a happy early Father's Day yesterday after the race and hitting the podium. And he had his newborn son with him. I think this is going to be a really good one today.
Yeah, first win of the 2014 season. Oof, man, he's got that truck upset, but look at the race for
Here
third.
we go.
I thought that would be where he could do it. Now we'll see if Johnny Greaves can go to the outside again or go underneath. Just something different than the guy in front of him.
Wow, a little bit over-rotated, scrubbed up a little bit of speed in that left-hand sweeper. But here comes our leader through turn number 1. It's all Mark Jenkins. Heading down to turn number 2, Mike Jenkins right behind him. Scott Douglas backs into the corner. Holy cow! Douglas not about to give up that spot. Here comes our winner out of the final corner, down the short chute. And up across the Boston Snowplow finish line, Mark Jenkins takes the win. Second will go to Mike Jenkins. Third, Scott Douglas. Fourth, Johnny Greaves. Top 5 for Adrian Cheney running the last 2 laps and a right rear tire that's no longer in existence. Ross Hook will come around 1 lap down, and behind him will be Mark Wong.
That Max's tire just being tattered as Ross Hook and Kwame come across the finish line area there. That Max's tire, I don't know how it even stayed on the rim that long. Don't know that you really want it staying on the rim doing that long, because that thing can do a lot of damage flapping around. You see his body panel just got obliterated.
Here we go.
Oh, we got a donut at the finish? What we got here? Oh, run around with a checkered flag? Yes, sir.
You know what? I love to see this because there's not a whole lot of celebrating on the racetrack with the drivers in off-road. And to do something different, good for you, man.
Oh, a little donut action I thought there. He's just having fun. Keep her in low gear and just let her spin.
And when that guy likes to have fun, there ain't no stopping him, without a doubt. I mean,
yeah, I need to hang with him around Dallas, Texas. We'll be back with our podium presentation to hear our top 3 when we return.
If Blue Def diesel exhaust fluid stands for one thing, it's purity. In fact, the folks that make it are sort of obsessed with it. That's why Blue Def is the #1 brand of DEF in the whole country. Guys, do we have to do this right now?
Yep.
Manufactured here in the USA, Blue Def is available at over 25,000 retail locations. Blue Def, certified pure for your clean diesel SCR truck or car. Guys, I look like a lunch lady.
Yep.
So go get yourself some Blue Def at these great retailers.
Husqvarna's latest innovation is based on a simple fact. The Earth is not flat. Its hills, valleys, and uneven terrain inspired Husqvarna to create a line of all-wheel drive mowers that help make easy work of any mowing challenge. The Earth isn't flat, but with a Husqvarna all-wheel drive mower, it sure could feel that way. Find the all-wheel drive mower at your local Husqvarna dealer and Lowe's.
Well, it was a chilly day. It was a chilly day, but things were definitely hot out on the track, and three good races.
I've had a Bark River typical great time this weekend.
You have a lot of fans here, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Only the little kids that have race those karts.
Yeah. So the Pro 4 had been determined. We have a victor in Mark Jenkins, and I believe our top 3 is down there with Taylor.
Jack's so excited he's asleep.
Oh, thanks, Scott. All right, I have some pretty excited guys up here to talk to, some brothers, but we're going to start with someone that I'm used to seeing up here, Scott Douglas. Scott, there weren't many cars, but what a race that was out there. This track is fast and it's technical, and you've definitely got to be on your game the entire time.
Oh, absolutely. It's super fast. Bark River's it's just a wild super speedway because it's so fast, and then there's technical stuff, and then you throw, it's like a desert situation where you throw silt all over your face. So it's fantastic. But the thing about Pro 4 is we might be the smallest class, but anybody in the class could win at any time. And I think we've showed it. We've had so many different winners this year, and it's just awesome. Congratulations to Mark and Mike here. And I can't thank AMSOIL enough for all the support they do and keeping this thing cool. All 3 of us on the podium here run AMSOIL. And my Toyo tires hooked up. Walker Evans wheels hit all these rocks and stayed straight. So it's fantastic, as well as the Borla exhaust kept it sounding sweet.
All right, we'll give it up for your third place finisher, Scott Douglas. Great job out there. Moving on over to our second place finisher, Mike Jenkins. Mike, it was almost like watching those Traxxas/RCs out there. You and your brother Mark out there battling the 2 Traxxas trucks. Of course, Johnny had some complications, but there's nothing worse than hearing that engine coming from the back. Did it put any pressure on you?
No, I really didn't look behind me at all. I just saw Mark in front of me and felt like I should be up there ahead of him. And I gave him a little room yesterday, and I thought he was going to give me some room today, but he wasn't giving me anything. But, speaking to first Cooper Tyler, they got us up here. Yesterday we had a lot of rubbing and bumping going on with one of the drivers. He ended up with a flat. Today Johnny went to the pits. He had a flat. Those guys aren't running Coopers. Cooper's given us a tire that's been very reliable and it's been easy to work with this year. And we applaud them for coming in here and supporting TORC. They are one of the financial contributors here that helped this race happen. So hats off to Cooper. Hope you guys appreciate their support. On top of that, I got to say, I am really happy this happens on Father's Day. Jonathan, where are you guys at? I got Jonathan and Christiana here this weekend, and they're normally with their moms, but this Father's Day weekend, so Dad gets the kids. And they brought good luck to that last year. They got good luck for us this year. We're glad to have them. We'll have them back next year with us. So, Kelly, thanks for being part of this racer family, making this all happen. I love you, baby.
All right, well, what a great Father's Day finish for you.
Thanks a lot.
All right, moving on up to our winner up here, Mark Jenkins. And of course, little Jack River in Bark River. You've definitely had a successful weekend here. What do you think? It's all your new son?
Taylor, it's great to be up here. There's no greater sweetness than family as compared to victory. And to have my 4-month-old son, Jack River Jenkins, up here to celebrate this with me on his first Father's Day with me is a tremendous opportunity, and those kind of opportunities are fleeting. I'm going to embrace it as long as I possibly can. But Marley, Macy, Kenny, Lucha, thank you all for your support. Mom and Dad, of course, and not least my brother Mike. Traxxas had a 1-2-3 sweep in Pro 4, Pro 2, Pro Light today. You got to love that kind of success, and that only comes with the constant support and commitment, both financially, emotionally, and technically, as our sponsors provide. Traxxas, Gentech Water Treatment, AMSOIL, Fox Shocks, of course, Cooper Tires. You saw them rip and shred and bust ass out there on those lap times today. So Impact Racing kept us safe and kept all 4 motoring, and it's great to be on the top of the box. Take a look at this little pumpkin right up here. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Love you, Mom.
All right, well, it's definitely a family sport. And congratulations to everyone up here, and happy Father's Day to Scott Douglas, Mike Jenkins, and the guy on top today, Mark Jenkins.
Well, Jack Rivers going, you're ripping my arms off, Dad, come on. But yeah, he said the times are fleeting, but you only have that one first time that you can get on the podium with your son, and it's his first ever Father's Day. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's cool.
things like that only happen once. You want to make it last as long as possible. But when you're young, you don't realize that. We're at a point now in our lives where we understand that and see that, and we want to make it last as long as possible. So it's so cool to see these guys up on the podium. They value their families without a doubt, and things mean so much better so much more when they're all around you. And Scott's got Jackie, his wife, here, and the two boys, Jenkins guys, they recognize their parents and their kids. So how cool is that, man?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's awesome. It was a great race today. All 3 races were great, but let's take a look at the Pro 4 recap of just how Mark Jenkins was able to take the victory and battle his brother, Mike Jenkins.
That was a sweet door that was opened up right there. Mark Kwame got a little bit too far to the right, and it's like the gates of heaven opened for Mike Jenkins. But it didn't take long, and here comes Mark.
Yeah, but if it's going to be anybody, I'm sure he's glad it's his brother and not, say, Johnny Greaves or Scott Douglas. Douglas in there working hard in 3rd place where he would eventually finish. Johnny Greaves having some problems. You see that right front going down, and eventually he would have to pull into the pits at the halfway point.
He had to run a whole lap and a half on a right front flat tire. I wonder if some damage didn't happen to that on that lap and a half to something besides the tire. And meanwhile, Mark Jenkins had the lead and never, ever looked back. Never, ever was challenged.
No, he didn't. And Mike knew it. He said, I felt good. I was out front. There comes my brother. And oh, well, it's my brother. White flag was out, but you see the distance behind him. Nobody ever got any closer. Really changing track conditions today, and Mark Jenkins made the most of those. He proved that he was the fastest 4-wheel drive. His brother was 2nd, and Scott Douglas 3rd. But they deserved it as he stabs the checkered flag and little Jack River there on his shoulder. It was a good day.
Yeah, it was a great weekend. In fact, Mother Nature cooperated. She kind of threw a curveball at us once in a while here with the wind and a little bit of the temperature. But other than that, it was a great, great weekend. And we say that, but we really mean it.
We get to do it again in about a month here at Bark River. That's the original intended race at Bark River International Raceway. But also, for those of you who want to watch it on the NBC Sports Network, we will be on Sunday, July 13th at 5 p.m. Eastern. But the Big House Brawl in Crandon, Wisconsin is our next stop. And I hear that's a pretty, I think they know what they're talking about in Crandon. I think they've kind of got into this off-road thing.
Well, we both get rental cars from the airport, and we kind of land at different times. You being from Texas, me being from California. I'm kind of thinking that maybe we might want to tag team and kind of go up together because you're going to a different part of the country.
Oh, no. As soon as I get past, like, I don't know, Kansas, everybody's a total different world for me. But, yeah, Crandon, Wisconsin, we fly in the same deal. It's just, another 2 hours to the left instead of 2 hours up and to the right heading into Wisconsin. But the Big House Brawl, that's our next stop, June 28th and 29th, just right down the road, a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. It's going to be kind of really cool. It's going to be cool to see your reaction of the famous Turn 1. I can't wait to see your reaction the first time you see that.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be full-on bonsai. I can't wait for it as well. But, again, you can watch this show Sunday, July 13th, 5 p.m. Eastern. Let's take a look back at what has gone down this weekend, rounds 5 and 6. Thanks for watching. Scott Rain, thank you for sitting next to me today.
It's been a blast, man. Once again, it's such a great time working with you. Taylor Snyder, she's been a great addition here again this year, doing pit reporting and giving us updates. But once again, we had a great time this weekend. Can't wait to see you in just a couple of weeks.
Next up, the Big House Brawl, June 28th and 29th. We'll see you in Crandon, Wisconsin.